effects of this war until maybe next month or a few months to come, as it does take a little bit of a while to hit those numbers, at least within the economic numbers. But people might start to see their energy bills go up a little bit. I know for sure they're seeing when they fill up their gas tank, that's going up now up to $3.60. Just last week it was at $2.98. So it might take a little bit of time for those numbers to be reflected in the economic data, but they will be. How much they'll impact that economic data is still yet to be seen.
You know, I was about to ask our producers to give you more time because as you were talking, the market just kept going up.
Yeah.
It's up at like 328 points. Awesome.
Day.
Thanks so much.
Didn't this happen yesterday as well?
Yes,
exactly.
I'm the lucky charm.
You're good luck. Thanks so much, Christina Thompson. We appreciate it.
Thanks, Christina.
Stay tuned. First edition only on Newsmax 2. We'll be right back.
More from the Newsmax newsroom straight ahead.
Hi, I'm Bianca Della Garza. What I love about working with Newsmax is the relationship we have with our viewers. So smart, so informed, it allows us to deliver powerful analysis, the sharpest viewpoints on the issues that really matter.
Hi, folks, we're back. If you've been injured in an accident that's not your fault and you don't have an attorney, listen up. We have legal professionals standing by to answer your questions and tell you what your case is potentially worth. Pick up the phone, call now.
If you've been in an accident that wasn't your fault, well, your favorite attorney has a message for you. Collision, calamity, catastrophe? Are you innocent, faultless, above reproach? If you want money, you need an attorney. You need a bulldog. But finding one, it's laborious, it's strenuous, it's stupefying. That's why you gotta call the number on your screen now.
To get your own bulldog, call your favorite attorney now.
They'll help you connect to a legal expert. You have questions, they have answers. They know the legalese, the lingo, the jargon, and the argot.
When I got hit by a car, I was confused, confounded, and concerned. But calling left me calm, composed, and comforted. Thanks, your favorite attorney.
They'll even tell you how much money your case could be worth. $300,000, $2 million, $86,491, all sorts of numbers.
Call your favorite attorney now. He'd call you, but he doesn't have your number.
Call 800-513-2164.
Slip and falls, work accidents, car, truck, bus, motorcycle, motorbike, e-bike, tandem bike. These bulldogs will make sure people pay. And if you don't get paid, the attorneys don't get paid, and I don't get paid.
After I was blindsided and sideswiped by a fat tire e-bike towing a skateboarder, I didn't know what to do. And a friend recommended that I call his favorite attorney. And I got results. Now, he's my favorite attorney.
It doesn't matter what kind of vehicle it was. As long as it had an engine and the accident wasn't your fault, call your favorite attorney now.
So I compel you, I implore you, I beseech you to pick up that phone and call now to see what your case could be worth.
To get a windfall, you first need to call.
Thanks, your favorite attorney.
Thanks, your favorite attorney.
Thanks, your favorite attorney.
So if you've been in an accident that wasn't your fault, call your favorite attorney now.
800-513-2164. That's 800-513-2164.
Welcome back. What a week, and a lot more.
You're watching theDove TV, encouraging and informative for Yuba City and Northern California. Seen on KYUB 15, KKPM 28, and these Dove TV affiliates. Good morning. You're tuned to theDove, encouraging and informative, helping Oregon, Northern California, Idaho, and Nevada start the day with news and encouragement. This is Mornings on theDove.
Well, good morning to you and happy Friday. Yes, sir. And ma'am.
And ma'ams.
Today's world, what do you say?
Ladies and gentlemen, good morning.
Good morning. Welcome to Friday. It took us 4 days to get here.
Yes, it did.
We finally made it.
We worked our way through.
We worked our way through it. Good morning to you. A lot going on in the news. There always is. The weather, kind of nice. We could see a little change tomorrow. Then, hey, significant weather next week to welcome in the spring. So we'll look at that. Jerry's here. That's all that counts.
Yeah, you betcha.
Did you get a good night's sleep?
Yeah, you know, when I was sleeping.
When you were sleeping?
When I slept, I slept pretty good. When I was awake, I was a little disturbed. But, you know, that happens.
Yeah, I know. So anyway, good morning to you. A lot going on. What do you got there, man?
Well, you know, yesterday was Plant Flower Day.
Oh, Plant
It was
Flower.
National Skin Barrier Day.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, because spring is coming upon us. We got to be. Well, today, of course, is Dermatologist Day.
Oh, I was going to say mow your lawn day.
That's right. And you know, I was thinking about dermatologists. You know, they doctor to the largest organ on our body, our skin.
Skin.
And boy, what ends of the spectrum they have. They see us when we are riddled with acne, when we're young. And then on the other end, when they're lobbing off things off our skin that now is going bad. So they see us on both ends, don't they?
I guess they do.
Oh, my goodness.
Should they iron us out?
Yeah.
You know.
I don't know. All I know is that these days when I go see my dermatologist, you know those little freeze cans that they use?
Oh, gosh.
He comes in with 2.
Really? Does he have them in holsters?
Yeah. He's a quick draw.
Yeah.
No, he just needs that much.
That's good.
Anyway, it's also National Jewel Day. Recognizing the makers and the jewelers who create the special pieces that take our breath away. You know, what is the state of jewelry these days? Are young folks wearing jewelry? Is it minimalist? What's going on?
That is a very interesting question. I don't, you know, you have these jewelry channels all over.
Uh-huh.
I guess people buy it. It's a fascinating love affair.
Yeah.
You know. My uncle was a custom jeweler.
Oh, no kidding. I didn't know that.
And the word custom, I mean, he only did things that people wanted. They come in and they sit down and they create the stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Then he creates the wax mold.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
And he would do it. And so...
You know, I wonder if these days, if most of the custom jewelry being done is like pierceable.
Well,
because we see so much.
What's left to poke?
What's left to poke? Put a little diamond stud on it.
Ears, nose, eyelids,
oh, I see.
foreheads.
Oh, it's amazing. People get, you know, we talk about addictions. We should talk to Doug about this.
Yeah.
Do people get addicted to piercings?
Well, or tattooing?
Or both?
I don't know. Yeah. I'm looking at this. Am I supposed to look at you like you're normal?
Right. Yeah.
You know? What? I don't even know where to look anymore.
You know what? That's a great point. Where's polite to look or not look?
I don't know.
Yeah, well, I'm going to put my eyes down. I don't want to be impolite here. But I am staring at you. What are you doing? Yes.
Jewelry day. Well, you know, I like simple elegance.
Oh, yeah.
I don't like gaudy elegance.
Right.
You know?
Right. You know,
but you know, when you see a diamond that's properly mounted, I have to say it's just stunning.
And of course, you know, keeping it simple but tasteful, Barbara Bush.
Yeah.
Pearls.
Yeah.
Yes.
Or get a what was it? Jack box, you know, where you had the little rings inside?
Jewelry.
Jacks.
Jewelry. Oh, the crack. I thought you were going to a jewelry box.
No,
we're going to Cracker Jacks.
Didn't they have Cracker Jacks had little rings in there?
They did.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you know, we always were kind of vying for the prize.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay. It's also National Good Samaritan Day.
Okay, that's good.
Coming out of the Book of Luke.
Yeah.
Obviously, you know, and it's an interesting lesson for us all. You know, it's interesting.
Colossians chapter 3.
And also, you know, who steps in to help? That dastardly, dreaded Samaritan?
Oh,
they were like the scum.
I know.
Yeah.
That's where you got Samaritan's purse.
It's amazing. All right.
Yeah, so read Colossians 3, and then it'll tell you about how you should treat others.
All right. Excellent. Also, National Canine Veterans Day. Oh, we love it. Recognizing National Canine Veterans Day, dedicated canine units who've served since World War II. And I like to lump in the canine units that are in law enforcement as well. Those, you know, these dogs are on the front lines every day. They're out there doing their job. And I love it when I'm watching cops and they suspect something fishy is going on. They always bring in the dogs.
So I have a question on
that. What?
Why didn't they immediately bring in dogs on the Guthrie case?
Oh, that's a huge question.
It is being asked.
That is and they didn't, apparently.
From what I understand, they did not.
Whoa, the question of the day.
Yeah.
I'd
like to be proven wrong, but from what I understand, they did not bring the dogs in. Or if they did, it was later on.
Right. And by then, it's too late. There's so many scents and different people that have been on the crime scene. Yeah.
That was one of the complaints.
Including the news teams.
Well, see, that was the complaint that the sheriff got. He opened up the scene too early for the press to come in. Well, at that point, you spoiled everything.
Yes, you did. Oh, my goodness. You know, Makes you want to have something sweet to eat, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like
How
what?
about National Coconut Torte Day?
Ooh.
Yeah, it happens on this day, recognizing a rich dessert featuring the decadent flavor of coconut and decorated with it too. Now, the word torte in German literally means cake, so why aren't we just having National Cake Day?
No, we like the word torte.
Okay. That's right. But torte refers to both a multi-layered cake filled with buttercream, jam, or cream, and to a rich, moist, and dense single-layered cake. A torte can be made with little to no flour, but instead with ground nuts or breadcrumbs, as well as sugar, eggs, and flavorings. And of course, coconut, rich in fiber, B6, iron and minerals like magnesium, manganese, phosphorus, selenium, and zinc. It's health food. You didn't even know it, did you?
No, it's amazing what you can justify when there's sugar all around.
If you go deep enough into AI, they'll find something good for you.
There you go.
Yeah, thank you. That's all I got.
That's good stuff all the way around. Well, speaking of coconuts, here's one.
Here's your Friday forecast from Grange Co-op. Across northern Oregon and southern Washington, Vancouver, Portland, Wilsonville, and McMinnville plan on a cool, showery day with on and off showers or showers likely, highs in the low to mid-50s. Moving down the Willamette Valley, rainy and breezy from Salem and Albany through Corvallis and Eugene, with daytime high temperatures in the mid-50s and a south wind gusting up to 21 miles per hour. A chance of rain and breezy today across central Oregon with daytime highs near 58 in Prineville, low to mid-50s in Bend and Sun River. Over in Boise, Idaho, a slight chance of rain, mostly cloudy, and highs in the mid-60s. Along the Oregon coast, rain in Coos Bay with a high near 60 and Port Orford near 57. A chance of showers in mid-50s in Brookings and patchy fog with a chance of rain in Crescent City, California, and a high near 59. Across southern Oregon, partly to mostly sunny in the Rogue Valley and Klamath Basin. Highs in the low to mid-60s for Grants Pass, Medford, Ashland, and Klamath Falls with a light northwest wind. Into northern California, mostly sunny from Wairika with a high near 67 through Redding and Chico with highs into the low 80s. Partly sunny in Sacramento with a high near 81 and low in the low 50s. In the Bay Area, early patchy fog, then partly sunny in Santa Rosa and mostly sunny in Napa with highs in the mid-70s. Partly sunny in San Francisco with a high near 71. And today in San Jose, mostly sunny and 79. It's your Tuesday weather from Grange Co-op.
All right, there's that classic Southern Oregon shot at this hour of the morning where it just looks like a little mini version of the LA basin.
It really does.
Yeah. Anyway, clouds coming in, so we'll see. I guess maybe possibility tomorrow, huh?
Yep, I think so. We'll keep an eye on it. But so, are you filled with the fruit of the Spirit? Well, here with some great encouragement is the Reverend Billy Graham.
And then he produces the fruit of the Spirit. When you receive Jesus Christ, you want to be a person of love and joy and peace and long-suffering and gentleness and goodness and faith and meekness and temperance, self-control. That's produced by the Holy Spirit. Those are attributes of Jesus Christ himself. Love, joy, long-suffering, gentleness, goodness, faith, meekness, and self-control. He had it all. You can have it all, but it has to be done by the Holy Spirit through you. You cannot of yourself live the Christian life. You'll be a total flop and failure. It has to be the Holy Spirit living it through you and producing it in you. And he will do that. You see, if you take up Romans, the 7th chapter, that's a chapter of defeat. But then you pick up the next chapter, Romans 8, and you'll find the Holy Spirit is mentioned 8 times, and it's a chapter of victory. You can have victory in the Holy Spirit. We're told to walk in the Spirit.
That's a good way to look at it. Romans 7, then go to Romans 8. Yeah, that's only Billy Graham could make it simple.
Yeah, yes.
And he did.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, give it a shot. All right, good morning to you. 10 minutes past the hour on a Friday morning. There's a lot going on in the news. Let's get you brought up to date this morning on some of these stories. And, of course, the big one yesterday was the terrorist attack, now that they're calling it, at Michigan synagogue. Now, let me say this. At first, they called it an incident at the synagogue.
Right. Yeah.
And the people of the synagogue are calling it a terrorist attack.
Right.
And the FBI is now taking over the attack. But apparently a gentleman took off, ran with his truck into the synagogue and started firing.
Right through the front door, drove down the hallway before he exited the car with a rifle, I guess.
Yeah. This is really crazy stuff. The leader, this is the largest nation's largest Reform synagogue. There in the suburb of Detroit. And so the FBI is taking over the investigation. Some people were hurt and taken to the hospital, but they neutralized.
Yeah, the guards took him out, and there was a kids' school going on, teachers in the building and kids and everything. So, but everybody was safe. But man, here we go. Are these lone wolves ramping up around the country?
Well, this guy's got quite a history.
Oh, yeah.
The mayor there of the county or the city there, which is what they call it the Oakland, Michigan County Sheriff. Okay, there we go. Describes what the synagogue security faced after the car crashed through the building. Here's what he had to say.
At least one individual came to the temple. Security saw him, engaged him in gunfire. The scene, we're not getting any active stimulus at the moment. We have everything here that we need, including, medics and tactical gear. We're looking to see if there's more than one person. We're still trying to figure that out. We're trying to get access to the video. At the moment, we just tell people that shelter in place for at least a mile area until we determine that there's no one else that maybe was on foot and fled the area, until we figure out exactly what's going on.
Okay, well, the only thing I can say is your brain goes on tilt. Here's a guy that drives his truck through the building, down the hall, shooting. Synagogues everywhere across the country have to have armed guards all the time now, especially when they're having their services. And the guy apparently has a rap sheet. He's Lebanese. He was let in under the Biden administration with open border with some special visa because he married an American woman. He actually served time for craziness.
For terroristic activities. Yes.
And they're yet to call it terrorism. The biases here is stunning. And if you don't study Judaism, you won't understand what's going on in that temple.
Yeah.
Okay, every religion will educate their children. Okay?
Yeah.
Every religion will do that. And with the Jewish community, what their children go through to learn history and to learn their way of faith is very significant.
Yeah.
And this is one of the largest ones in the country. And yet, they're fighting for their existence in their homeland, and we're yet to call this a terrorist attack by a Lebanese terrorist.
Right. Now,
this is just crazy.
Are we seeing kind of a growing trend here targeting houses of worship, whether they be synagogues or whether they be Christian churches? And I look directly at some of the other activities that have gone on, especially the protest in the church in Minneapolis, where, by the way, every one of the protesters has been arrested.
Good.
They are going to try and prosecute all of them, and I think they should. But
Don Lemon?
Yes, he's been charged.
That's right.
Yeah, Don Lemon's being charged. Yeah. Of course, he's crying foul.
Yeah.
But is this a trend?
Well, listen, if you can step away from the heated moment of the politics of it, okay, the bottom line to socialism and fascism is you have to eliminate religion.
Yes.
No matter what it is.
Good point. Yes.
Okay. It does not exist when people have faith beyond themselves. Right. It doesn't work. The state has to become the god, and they do it by fear and intimidation. Yeah. So this is really something, and we'll see how this plays out. Then yesterday, unfortunately, there was another shooting at the Old Dominion University in Virginia. And Kash Patel was on this one. Apparently some people were wounded. One was killed, and then the shooter himself was killed. But here's the FBI director talking about that one.
Prior to him conducting this act of terrorism, he shouted, stated Allah Akbar, and he was formerly a subject of a FBI investigation in material supporting terrorism, to where he may have been before this, who he may have been in contact with, if he had any other supporters, anybody providing him information. So we have to track every single lead down, and that is exactly what the FBI will do. Every single lead, we're going to track down the veracity of the information and make sure that we have a full investigation with as much information, again, to ensure that there isn't anyone else that he may have been receiving support from as well.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so here's another. Mohammed Bailer Johan, I think if I say that right. He was arrested in 2016. He was sentenced to 11 years in prison, and they are calling this a terrorist attack.
Okay, all right.
So this is really something, what's going on about another university attack.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, yesterday the president did talk about the cell shootings. Excuse me, I got to get all my brains here. That the terrorist cells that are in the United States, apparently they are tracking. They think they know where all of them are, but maybe not all. But in other words, they know where most of them are at this moment, and they're keeping an eye on them. But then you have these lone wolves going out doing this stuff in their own way of being a hero. So I don't know. I don't know what to say about that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. We have another video of a, let's see, who is this now? Oh, it was called the Constant Hall there at the college business department. And here's a little bit of the take from that.
We don't have metal detectors in our classrooms, in our academic buildings. They're used at special events. We use them. We were there very quick. And based on the number of officers that we have, and the response time was well under what I expected it would have been. We're certainly going to be mindful that we need to be more present. I think that is an expectation that I would have if I were a parent, and we will do that. But you know, it depends on how this unfolds as to what direction we take. But we would definitely want to make our students feel as safe as they can, and presence is a way to do that.
Well, he makes a good statement there. Presence is a way to do that. We'll see where that goes. But anyway, that's the chief of police there from the Old Dominion University town there. So sad. All right, in the meantime, we mentioned briefly that the president was talking about tracking the sleeper cells in the United States, and here's what he had to say about that.
A lot of people came in through Biden with this stupid open border, but we know where most of them are. We've got our eye on all of them, I think. Is it dozens? They came in through the open border policies of Sleepy Joe Biden, one of the worst president in the history of our country. And we've got our eyes on all of them, but the war itself is being prosecuted at a level that nobody's seen before. It's pretty amazing to watch.
Okay, so in the meantime, the war itself, multiple Middle Eastern countries are still being hit by Iran missiles. You have Bahrain, Saudi Arabia, and the United Arab Emirates reported fresh Iranian attacks yesterday, and then in the meantime, a container ship was struck yesterday in the middle of everything. So, and then the Straits itself has got a lot of problems. I guess the conflict we're having in our mind is this: if we can just keep it simple. Both the Secretary of War and the President say we have pretty much wiped them out.
Yeah, no Air Force, no Navy, leadership underground.
Yeah, they're saying that the son of the Grand Leader is wounded, but they haven't seen or heard from him. Supposedly he gave some orders. However, they're still doing a lot of damage.
Right, and the Strait of Hormuz is effectively closed and bottling up the flow of oil. And you saw what happened with the price of oil overnight?
Yeah. So the only thing, I guess we have to ask the question, all right, we may have, taken a lot of things away, but there's a lot of things that remain. And
apparently so, yes.
Apparently these missiles, they're in They're in garages. They're in the back of pickup trucks. They're everywhere.
And that's the other thing. They mentioned that obviously the Navy is gone, their Air Force is gone, and that their missile attacks are down 90%. But those 10% right now is pretty effective, I'd say.
Yeah, I think what they're, I don't know. Let me just guess here.
Okay.
They're not getting them, and therefore they are shooting what they have left.
Okay.
Now, I had a gentleman on yesterday said, no, things are still getting in from China. Well, I don't know if that's true. Okay. If anything was coming in from China or Russia, we would know that
You
for
would
sure.
think so, yeah.
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 But in the meantime, we did have a United States disaster. 2 KC-135s apparently collided. These are 2 refueling planes, and one went down and the crew was killed.
Now, you're saying there are 2 refueling planes, but one was apparently refueling the other? Something?
Excuse me. It looks like it.
Okay.
I can't confirm it. But when you have 2 KC-135s colliding, something went terribly wrong. And the only thing that I could think of was one was climbing.
Okay.
And the other one came in over the top of it.
Oh.
And they didn't. The speed of the acceleration going up and the speed of the airplane going forward created seconds of no response. They collided, and one went down and killed the crew, and the other one, I guess, hobbled away. But
yeah, it landed in Tel Aviv.
But K-135s can refuel each other.
Okay.
And they also then are up there to fuel planes. You know, that's how they got the bombers from, what was it, Kansas to Iran and back.
And back, right.
They synchronized these refueling things out there. So you have refuelers refueling refuelers that are refueling the bombers and the fighters.
There's a lot of logistics.
Quite a lot of logistics there.
Whoa.
All right, so anyway, those are some of the top stories on this Friday morning. And
coconut.
You know, I have to say something about yesterday, though.
What?
We did everything to troll for popcorn, and it didn't work.
I know, until I got home.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Really?
Oh, we got big bags full of it.
Really?
Yes. Yeah, I don't even have
Are
time
we losing our influence?
Yeah, well, I don't even have time to pop it anymore. I buy it popped.
Oh, you get that skinny stuff?
Yeah, skinny stuff, yeah. In the huge, big pillow bags, you know. You can take it and put your head on it and go to bed.
Is it healthy?
It's very, only 3 ingredients. Popcorn, a little oil, and salt. That's it.
Okay. We'll go look for some coconut then. We'll be right back.
Since 1934, Grange Co-op has been more than just a store. We've been a cornerstone of our community, owned by people like you. We proudly offer top-quality farm and ranch supplies, including our own Rogue feed, as well as workwear, Western apparel, garden essentials, and pet care products. By signing up as a Grange Rewards customer, you not only enjoy exclusive benefits like special offers and 1% back on most purchases, but you also become part of something bigger, a cooperative that you own and help shape. Join Grange Rewards today.
When technology slows you down, your business and your life feels it. That's where Rogue Tech Pros comes in. We provide business technology services, managed IT services, and custom phone systems for businesses and homes. Our award-winning team takes time to understand your unique needs and builds a customized plan to keep your systems running smoothly so you can focus on growing your business while we handle the IT headaches. Find us at RogueTechPros.com. RogueTechPros.com. We keep IT simple.
Welcome to Fish Lake Resort, where adventure is everywhere, and everyone is your friend. The fishing is great, and the food is tasty. The RV sites are full hookup, and the cabins are cozy. It's always a good time at Fish Lake Resort, and the best part is, you can come visit any day of the year because we are open all year, 7 days a week. Visit fishlakeresort.net today to learn more and plan your visit.
Hi,
I'm the SOS Alarm guy, here to tell you about a great deal. SOS Alarm will not only beat any internet deal, but will install the system too. So burglars, beware. SOS Alarm for security and beyond.
Welcome back. Happy Friday, 26 minutes past the hour. Well, back to Oregon politics. We're going to have a governor's race. And this is kind of interesting. Phil Knight, which I think is the richest guy in the state.
Who else could it be?
Well, Gates.
Yeah, but is he in state?
No, he's up in...
he's Paul Allen has passed away.
Paul Allen,
it's got to be Phil Knight.
Okay, well, anyway, he gave $1 million to the Chris Dudley gubernatorial campaign yesterday.
Huh.
So when I looked into this is interesting. The last time that Dudley ran, he ran against John Kitzhaber, and he came in 1.5% behind him, so he almost got him. Now he wants to get back into politics again. He's quite the accomplished Oregon trailblazer and businessman now. So now he wants to get back into the race and run for governor as a Republican, okay? So, again, I have to get into the FEC reports, but I haven't done that. But apparently, this brings Chris Dudley's fundraising up to $1.7 million, which is equal, supposedly, so far, to that of Senator Christine Drazen, who's running for the nomination again. So your two top Republicans are over the $1 million mark in raising money. There's quite a few other ones. Ed Dial, there's Marion County Commissioner Danielle Bethel, and I know there's quite a few. I better stop here. But so Knight gives Dudley $1 million. How
about that?
Okay. I don't think it helps.
Oh, okay. I was going to ask, why not?
Well, if you take the two top, now all the other ones that are listening here this morning, I'll give you time, but I just want to talk about the two that have all the money right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's Christine and Knight, or Christine and Dudley. Okay.
Yeah.
Dudley's coming back into politics. He's been out since Governor Kitzhaber's been out.
Yeah.
Christine ran before, came close to getting Brown, or getting Kotek.
Kotek,
okay. And now it's up again. Okay. So the problem that I see is Dudley is a pro-choice Republican. Okay, and that is his attempt to soften the Republican feel for the Tri-County area up north, which is primarily blue. Christine is pro-life. Now, is that just the only issue? No. Christine knows how the system works. She knows budgeting. She knows all that's that. I'm not saying that Dudley doesn't. It's just that he's never really poked his nose into the happenings of the government, other than maybe from the business perspective.
Okay.
And being a pro-life, basically, if I want to say this respectfully, it's the only way I can describe him, would be a rhino.
Okay.
Okay. I don't think this money's going to, it'll buy him a lot of time, but I don't know if it buys him credibility.
Okay.
I could be wrong, but I don't think it says much because I don't know the politics of Phil Knight. Do you?
I don't. But I think it's interesting that we see him giving his money to a Republican. I think he gave Dudley money before, didn't he?
He did.
Yeah. Does this mean, every time Phil Knight gives somebody or a company or whatever money, the Nike swoosh appears on it. Does this mean Chris Dudley's going to have a swoosh on his jacket now or what?
Well,
it happens.
Like an Olympic team?
It drives me crazy now when I see on Major League Baseball uniforms.
Yeah.
Every team has a Nike swoosh on it, and it bothers me. You know why? Because the Yankees do too, and that's sacrilege putting stuff on that uniform. Anyway.
Well,
sorry.
Knight has been Phil Knight's been very active in Oregon politics, leaning more to the right and independent than to the left.
Well, and he's a businessman.
Yeah.
So, he gets it.
So he's given millions of dollars into candidates running for various offices. And, I think we're grateful for that.
Yeah.
I just don't know if Dudley can buy his way back into recognition. as being credible. I don't say that disrespectfully, but what has he done other than being against everything that the governor's done?
Well, I'm not here to defend Chris Dudley because I think he's soft on the issues that are important to us.
Yeah.
But I do think he brings something into this race that we talk about here. He's one of the guys that has met a payroll. He is one of the guys that has run a business. He is one of the guys that has been involved in this.
Yeah.
And we see all these politicians who are far removed from it. So maybe that has something positive going for him. Like I said, on some of the issues that are important to us, I think he's a bit soft, but that may be part of the attraction for Chris Dudley.
It could be. It could be. I have been carefully listening to the message of the candidates. I'll go online and read some of their words, okay? And they haven't hired me to tell them what to do, but I don't think their messaging is any good.
Now, let's see. We're looking at Christine and we're looking at Chris. Oh, we got pretty similar there, Chris and Christine.
Yeah.
Okay. On the other hand, let's look at the alternative.
Yeah.
Tina Kotek.
Yeah.
I heard it said yesterday, and I don't know if this is true or not, that she's like the most unpopular governor in the country.
She is.
My goodness.
And guess what? She didn't even get the education union endorsement.
Oh, really?
Now, will they give it to Dudley? They could because he's pro-choice.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But can Christine come over that? Yes. Okay. But I've been listening to the messaging. That's everything. Messaging is everything.
Yeah.
And so I'll just hold on to that comment. All right. Let's check out the satellite image. Here's what's going on with the weather out there. And it is interesting.
Wow.
We got some stuff coming in over the top of us in the next 24, 48 hours.
Yeah.
And then back to warm weather next week.
Yeah, we got 65% chance of showers tomorrow, high in the upper 50s.
Okay.
But you're right, warming up next week. Thursday, 78. I got a call last night. He said, is it really going to be 80 degrees next week?
Real
it could
close.
be. It could be.
Real close.
So anyway, well, Forbes media editor-in-chief and chairman Steve Forbes discusses billionaire Howard Schultz leaving Seattle, imagine that, on the evening edit, and why this blue state did not see this coming.
Part of it is envy. They resent people who have money, the radical left. They also assume that commerce just happens. They have no idea of what makes things happen. Howard Schultz created Starbucks out of his own mind after a visit to a coffee house in Italy years ago. And so they're driving it out. A great banker once said, capital goes where it's welcome and stays where it is well treated. Washington State decided not to treat it well. And we know if you tax, they also have this crazy idea, cartoonish idea, Jackie, that wealth is tangible, piles of money. Remember that Scrooge McDuck, the cartoon character of Walt Disney and his money bin? They just figure you go in and scoop up the dollar bills and the gold and the jewels and all that sort of thing. They have no conception that most wealth is intangible in the sense that it's a price in the marketplace. Yeah. And if you have a bad marketplace, guess what? Wealth disappears in thin air. It's not like a pile of gold.
He's a little irritated there, isn't he?
Well, he's a smart guy. I think he's one of the smartest guys out there. But, you know, when Starbucks let Union through the door, that's the end of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's Starbucks, great product. They're going to go through major adjustments and major hurt, and they're going to have to get their act together. But the worst thing they did was let Union in the door.
Yep.
And they're, what, 4 stores here in Southern Oregon gone?
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Yeah,
4?
Gone. Yeah.
Oh my
so,
goodness. Wow.
You got to rethink this thing.
Yep.
Okay. We're going to rethink coconut.
Yeah, okay.
We'll be right back.
Okay.
Since 1934, Grange Co-op has been more than just a store. We've been a cornerstone of our community, owned by people like you. We proudly offer top-quality farm and ranch supplies, including our own Rogue feed, as well as workwear, Western apparel, garden essentials, and pet care products. By signing up as a Grange Rewards customer, you not only enjoy exclusive benefits like special offers and 1% back on most purchases, but you also become part of something bigger, a cooperative that you own and help shape. Join Grange Rewards today.
Finding that next great series to binge watch is fun, but your neck, shoulders, and body don't count that as me time. Hi, I'm Tamara Miller, owner of Organic Element Spa, and I invite you to put down the remote, get off the couch, and schedule yourself some real me or we time with your favorite service, like one of our many massages, couples massages, or facials. Your health, safety, and comfort are always top priority with us at Organic Element Spa. We can't wait to see you. Book your appointment today.
When plumbing emergencies hit, and they do, you want help from a plumber you can trust, and you need it now. On It Plumbing to the rescue. On It Plumbing gets the job done right with integrity and quality craftsmanship. On It Plumbing offers military discounts, senior discounts, and discounts for KDOV listeners too. Licensed, bonded, and insured. On It Plumbing, CCB 229436. No job too big or small. On It Plumbing does them all. See us at onitplumbing.net. onitplumbing.net.
Hi, I'm Bayless Conlon. In life, we all face uncertainty, whether it's financial troubles, relationship valleys, a health crisis, or just trying to discover your purpose. One thing is for certain, God sees you. He loves you, and no matter what you're facing, He has the answers.
Get Answers with Bayless Conley, Tuesday, Saturday, and Sunday on the Dove TV. Encouraging and informative.
All right, welcome back. 24 minutes before the hour. The Middle East, well, it just got so many twists and turns. So let's check in with CBN News and get the latest.
Here's the latest from our news desk. Iran and Hezbollah, they've ramped up their attacks on Israel and other Middle East players overnight and continuing here today on Thursday. And as President Trump says, the war will be over soon.
Hezbollah launched around 200 missiles at northern Israel overnight in a coordinated attack with Iran, which launched 4 ballistic missile salvos. The attacks continued on Thursday morning, sending Israelis to bomb shelters as shrapnel fell on Jerusalem.
So here we are in the bomb shelter again this morning. You can hear there's quite a few people in here. As we were coming down the steps, we heard the booms of the interceptions, a couple of children here running around. And it's a very, very stark reality.
The IDF said it knew the attack was coming hours in advance.
The attempt to expand the shooting to many areas in the country is a direct response to the extensive and deep damage and pressure we are exerting on them, and this pressure is increasing day by day.
Overnight, Israel launched a wave of strikes targeting Hezbollah terror infrastructure, dismantling dozens of launchers and eliminating Hezbollah operatives. It also targeted 10 structures in Hezbollah's stronghold in Beirut, including the intelligence headquarters and command centers. On the ground in southern Lebanon, Israeli troops located and dismantled rocket launchers and weapons storage facilities.
We are targeting the head of the octopus in Iran. Its arms in Lebanon are hurting, and now it's doing everything it can to assist its sponsor in Iran. Therefore, by targeting it in Lebanon, we are also weakening it by targeting Iran.
The Lebanese government declared it's opposed to Hezbollah attacking Israel, but its army has not moved to stop it. U.S. forces continue striking Iranian planes, boats, and trucks. President Trump says the U.S. is making great progress and the war will be over soon.
And we have very good news on the war front. Namely, they are absolutely being destroyed. Iran is being absolutely decimated. That's all I can say.
He also said the U.S. doesn't want to leave too early, stating, "We've got to finish the job." Meanwhile, Iran continues to target other Middle East countries, with a drone hitting a tower in Dubai, a strike triggering a huge fire at a facility in Bahrain, and several attacks against commercial ships around the Strait of Hormuz. The fighting in the strait is sending oil back over $100 a barrel. The International Energy Agency is releasing 400 million barrels of oil from its emergency reserves, the largest in its 69-year history, about a quarter of the global seaborne oil trade, as well as liquefied natural gas and fertilizers pass through the Strait of Hormuz. In the U.S., anti-terror officials issued a warning to law enforcement in California about the potential threat of an Iranian drone strike launched from an offshore boat. The alert is based on information that Iran has considered such a strike, but there is no confirmed or imminent threat. Julie Stahl, CBN News, Jerusalem.
Stand up. You're there in the bomb shelter. Actually, it was downstairs from here. You know, that was emblematic of what we all shared this morning. We all have our individual story. What's yours?
Well, we were here, and I was typing, and I heard the pre-alarm, and I yelped because it was just startling, and all I could think, you know, I had to think quick. Okay, I have to do this and this and this. Are we really going to get an alarm? Because, you know, it's a few floors down.
6, by the way. 7, actually.
Yeah, more than that,
Yeah.
actually. And we actually rode the elevator down to the 2nd floor, and as it often happens, the door wouldn't open. So we had to go back up and then down, and then on the way down, we ran it, you know, we saw all the people. And then we thought, okay, this is a good time to show people what's happening.
Yeah. Joshua, what was your story?
Well, mine was pretty dramatic as well. Marion, one of our producers here, had picked me up because I had a bunch of bags and I had the dog and I had to pick up my dry cleaning, which is a thing. So we had picked up the dry cleaning. Literally, we had just pulled over, typical Israeli parking, up on the curb. I jumped out of the car and the alarms went off, the pre-alarms. And as I'm in the getting my laundry, the real alarms go off, and so I run back out to the car, and actually some of the footage you're going to see here in a second is reminiscent of exactly what happened. Marion and I happened to be close to City Hall, and so right here, this shot for the viewers, boom, boom, just like that. 2 giant interceptors went up, and we saw them. So I jumped in the car and I said, Marion, go, 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 because we were right under it. And as we all know, the danger is shrapnel.
Right.
Right, and what we see some of there is the shrapnel actually was at the bottom of King David Street.
That's right.
And so I was on my way, and I was on Bethlehem Road, and decided to stop the car. The sirens were going off. And I saw the interceptors, too, go up. There had to be about 3 of them, I think, at least 3. And then a number of Israelis ran into the bomb shelter. I followed them, and that's where I was for about 10 or 15 minutes until they all cleared.
Yeah.
Well, we actually drove right past a piece of shrapnel that had fallen in the road. So it shows you just how serious this is. And it could be, of course, a missile from Iran, but it also could just be shrapnel from the interceptor.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right.
And that's why you have to wait about 10 minutes after they all clear, or to make sure that no debris is falling down.
Yeah.
Well, I can't even imagine.
Nope.
You're driving along and all of a sudden a piece of metal goes through your windshield.
Yeah. Oh, my goodness.
Well, that's what's happening up there. All right, let's check out the weather with the guy that's happening.
Here's your Friday forecast from Grange Co-op. Across northern Oregon and southern Washington, Vancouver, Portland, Wilsonville, and McMinnville plan on a cool, showery day with on and off showers or showers likely, highs in the low to mid-50s. Moving down the Willamette Valley, rainy and breezy from Salem and Albany through Corvallis and Eugene, with daytime high temperatures in the mid-50s and a south wind gusting up to 21 miles per hour. A chance of rain and breezy today across central Oregon, with daytime highs near 58 in Prineville, low to mid-50s in Bend and Sun River. Over in Boise, Idaho, a slight chance of rain, mostly cloudy, and highs in the mid-60s. Along the Oregon coast, rain in Coos Bay with a high near 60 and Port Orford near 57. A chance of showers in mid-50s in Brookings and patchy fog with a chance of rain in Crescent City, California and a high near 59. Across southern Oregon, partly to mostly sunny in the Rogue Valley and Klamath Basin. Highs in the low to mid-60s for Grants Pass, Medford, Ashland, and Klamath Falls with a light northwest wind. Into northern California, mostly sunny from Wairika with a high near 67 through Redding and Chico with highs into the low 80s. Partly sunny in Sacramento with a high near 81 and low in the low 50s. In the Bay Area, early patchy fog, then partly sunny in Santa Rosa and mostly sunny in Napa with highs in the mid-70s. Partly sunny in San Francisco with a high near 71. And today in San Jose, mostly sunny and 79. It's your Tuesday weather from Grange Co-op.
All right, there we go. Mount Ashland. Officially
closed.
Officially
closed for the season yesterday.
All right, there you go.
So it's all done, but for the shouting. Anyway, hey, you know, these days we have AI. But in days gone by, remember we used to go up to the big bookshelves and there'd be a long string of encyclopedias, and we'd get a wealth of information from those. And for 244 years, one company published those, but it was on this day in history that Britannica ceased hard publishing editions. On March 13th, 2012, one of the most famous reference books in the world turned a historic page. After more than 2 centuries in print, Encyclopedia Britannica announced it would stop publishing its traditional multi-volume printed sets. The encyclopedia's history stretches all the way back to 1768 in Edinburgh, where its first edition was published in 3 volumes. Over the years, Britannica grew into a symbol of knowledge itself, those tall shelves of carefully bound books found in libraries, schools, and living rooms around the world. But by the 21st century, the Internet had changed how people search for information. Rather than disappear, Britannica evolved. The company shifted fully to digital publishing, offering online articles, educational resources, and classroom tools used by millions of students worldwide. So while the famous printed volumes are now history, the mission remains the same, sharing trusted knowledge, but now in a very modern form.
Well, remember the guy going door to door?
You know, I was going to bring that up. Door-to-door encyclopedia salesman. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So that's their days gone by.
All right. Well, listen, it's Friday. We need a little levity.
Yeah, we do.
Let's check in with our buddy Ken Davis.
All right.
All right.
We had something happen at our church. I was at a meeting at church, and my wife has always told me, don't leave the keys in the ignition of the car. But when the meeting was done, I couldn't find my keys. I checked everywhere. Under the table, I checked at the reception desk, no keys. No keys anywhere. And then I remembered, I bet you I left them in the ignition. Because this is a smart thing to do. If they're in the ignition, you don't have to find them in some crack. You find the car, whoo, there's the keys. But my wife, Diane, has told me, do not leave the keys in the car. She said, someone is going to steal your car. Don't do it. Well, I knew she was going to be upset. I went out to get the car. It was gone. It should have been right outside the door. It was gone. I called the police. I told them the church I was at. I said, someone has stolen my car. And then I made the most important call of all. I called my wife, Diane. And when she answered the phone, I said, sweet baby, I have disobeyed you. I left the keys in the ignition of the car, and the car has been stolen. Nothing, just silence. I said, sweet baby, are you there? Nothing. I thought AT&T had dropped a call. I said, baby, are you there? She said, Ken, I dropped you off at church. I said, come and get me. And she said, I will, as soon as I convince this policeman I have not stolen your car.
I love it.
Oh, God.
Oh.
You know, you get to the age where those things do happen.
Tell me about it. You saw me the other day. I'm sitting out here, and I thought, you know, we're talking and we're doing stuff. We get preoccupied, and all of a sudden I'm looking, I can't find my microphone. And I'm trying to find the microphone, and I go, it's on.
I've done that.
I had it on.
I don't know. Yesterday should have just been kind of taken off the calendar.
Absolutely.
No matter what I touched yesterday, it went the other direction.
Yeah, yes.
I go, clink, clink. I go, what's going on here?
Me too.
I spent a lot of words doing it.
It's catchy.
Yeah.
It's catchy. This is like a pandemic or something.
Is it an addiction? Let me ask Doug. Is it an addiction? By the way, he did get back to us.
About the piercing and the tattoos?
He said, yeah, you can be addicted to piercing and tattoos. You know? Well, I've often been asked why I don't have a tattoo. And my answer is pretty simple. When's the last time you see a bumper sticker on a Ferrari? We'll be right back.
The Lennox iComfort S30 thermostat can sense changes in your environment. It even knows when you come and go. So now your home's most important system is also the smartest.
Metal Masters can give you the smartest home comfort system available. It knows when you're away and adjusts when allergens and humidity get uncomfortable. Trust Metal Masters to provide perfect air for your family.
Lennox, air is life. Make it perfect.
The 71.5 Golf Challenge arrives Saturday, May 16th with a 4-person scramble, morning and afternoon shotguns, and a 6:30 award social. Register your team by April 1st for an early bird special. Score the team player pack for just $20 instead of $100 with the code EARLYBIRDIE. Become a sponsor and help kids across Southern Oregon. Visit 715.org or call 541-779-3275. At the 71.5 Golf Challenge, your drive saves lives.
If you don't drive it, donate it. By supporting us, you'll get even more mileage out of it.
Thank you from the Dove TV.
From the heart of our nation's capital, here's Family Research Council President Tony Perkins.
The House committee uncovered through the whistleblower that the FBI abused its counterterrorism tools to target Catholic Americans. Do we need to reevaluate what tools they have legal access to?
Yes, absolutely we do.
Washington Watch, 6 o'clock weekdays on the Dove TV.
Welcome back, 8 minutes before the hour. A lot of people will refer to these anxious times that we live in Matthew chapter 24, which deals with in the last days. And Dr. David Jeremiah kind of points out here what Jesus was talking about, the indifference of the people living in that time in comparison to the people of Noah. So here's what he had to say about that familiar piece of scripture.
When Jesus was describing what it would be like on earth just before he returned, here's what he said. But as the days of Noah were, so also will be the coming of the Son of Man. For as in the days before the flood, they were eating and drinking, marrying and giving in marriage, until the day that Noah entered the ark, and did not know until the flood came and took them all away, so also will the coming of the Son of Man be. The people of Noah's day ignored and ridiculed his warnings. Noah built and preached for 120 years, and not one single individual outside of his immediate family believed him. The people were so indifferent that they didn't understand what was happening until it was too late. The heedlessness of the people of Noah's day will be duplicated in the last days of our world's history. It will be a day much like ours, a day when ideologies like socialism can sneak in without much attention. Socialism is tailor-made for the Antichrist appearance. It creates global conditions that bring great stress and trouble, difficult days that will be hard to bear. And it demands a one-world system of government, which Scripture says will be established before the end of history. Revelation 13 describes the Antichrist as a beast having vast power and authority. The whole world marveled and gave allegiance to the beast. And he was given authority to rule over every tribe and people and every language and nation and all the people who belong to the world. There's coming a day when there will be a leader who will be in charge of the whole world.
All right, well, I would say that portion of Scripture is talked about so much and various interpretations of it. So I think Dr. David Jeremiah gives a pretty solid perspective there. All right, coming up, Dr. Adam Rasmussen will be back with us. He's with the Cultural Research Center there at the Arizona Christian University. And why is biblical worldview declining?
Great question.
Why is it declining? The biblical worldview, even among Christians, it's going down. Excuse me. Excuse me. Sorry about that. John O'Connor will be back with us. Always good to have him, a federal prosecutor formerly. And we'll be talking about some of the headlines and the judicial systems and the FBI and the DOJ in Jerry's backyard.
That's right, and I got another rescue. Check this out.
Oh.
A man in Queensland is alive today thanks to an incredible chain of events, and it all started in motion by his dog. Chris's dog, Sally, had slipped out of the house, and he had just stepped outside to bring her back when he suddenly collapsed from cardiac arrest. That's when Sally started barking. Her loud, persistent barking caught the attention of workers at a nearby store who stepped outside and spotted Chris lying motionless. One of them immediately called Australia's emergency number 000. Moments later, a passing driver who had recently learned CPR stopped to help. Then another twist of fate. An off-duty paramedic who lived next door was woken up and rushed over to assist. Together, they kept Chris alive until first responders arrived and airlifted him to the hospital, where doctors inserted stents to open blocked arteries. Looking back, Chris calls his survival nothing short of a miracle. From a barking dog to quick-thinking strangers to a paramedic neighbor, every piece fell into place at exactly the right moment, giving him a second chance at life. With man's best friend.
Oh, that's beautiful.
How about that?
All right, take this very powerful scripture with you today. Deuteronomy 31:6. Be strong and courageous. Do not fear or be in dread of them, your enemy, for it is the Lord your God who goes with you, and he will not leave you nor forsake you. That's the promise of the day. Take that with you today. Get some coconut something. Coconut cake.
Yeah. Applegate River Golf and RV Resort, a pristine 9-hole course alongside the Applegate River. Their clubhouse offers a golf simulator experience. The RV resort is adjacent to the golf course with convenient pull-through parking. Applegate River Golf and RV Resort. Information at applegaterv.com.
Come fall in love with Northridge Senior Living, where contemporary, sunlit interiors meet old-world elegance. Walk through our lovely hallways and enjoy the fun staff-led activities. Forge lasting friendships with other residents and our exceptional caregivers. Dine in style. Gather near the fireplace under breathtaking chandeliers. Our reasonably priced apartments are spacious with private balconies. Northridge is Christian-owned and operated, pet-friendly, and only 2 blocks from Asante Rogue Regional Medical Center. On-site, in-home care is available. We also offer senior adult daycare, where your loved one can spend the day with us, and the evenings with you. Northridge Senior Living. Your home.
Stewardship begins with the knowledge that nothing belongs to us, but everything belongs to the Lord. This helps us to run a business not in the fear of lack, but in the assurance of His care and provision. Such a perspective eliminates the drive to sell and replaces it with a heart that says serve. This begins with serving our clients and coworkers with integrity and genuine care. That's why McKelly's is automotive service with a heart for God and treating others as we ourselves would want to be treated. Our promise is to never sell our clients anything we don't believe they need. Another is to do all we can to meet other needs, such as shuttle service and loaner cars, or taking the time to really listen, even at times praying with our customers. Sometimes this means sacrifice, going above and beyond. But that's why I work for Kelly's Automotive Service, honoring God while serving people with honesty and integrity.
The John Ankerberg Show offers real answers to tough questions. Does God exist? Why is there suffering in this world? Is there evidence Jesus truly rose from the dead? What is the best explanation for the origin of the universe? For 40 years, Dr. John Ankerberg has hosted discussions on these and other topics with top Christian experts. Discover the information you need to better understand your faith and share it with others.
Watch The John Ankerberg Show weekdays at 4 on the Dove TV. Preaching the gospel and equipping the saints in a way that only Todd Friel can. Wretched, weekdays and weeknights on the Dove TV. Encouraging and informative. Good morning. You're tuned to the Dove. Encouraging and informative. Helping Oregon. Northern California, Idaho, and Nevada start the day with news and encouragement. This is Mornings on the Dove.
Hi, good morning to you. Happy Friday.
Yeah.
Welcome to Mornings on the Dove. It only took us 4 days to get here, but we made it. Anyway, good morning to you. That is Jerry Bilden. That's all that counts, because when he hears this place is hopping.
Yeah. Oh, boy. Well, popcorn hops, too, and it's... kind of an unusual, random thing.
Well, we did some very obvious, significant trolling yesterday.
Yeah, we did.
And it resulted in nothing.
Nothing.
We even brought the popcorn machine.
We did. We put it on set. I got comments about that yesterday.
Too, yeah. And I'm going, I mean, Renee didn't even kick in.
No. Yeah, I didn't get popcorn until I got home.
Okay, well, oh, yeah, that's right. You buy the pillow popcorn.
Yeah, the pillow. Yeah, because, I don't have time to pop it.
Okay.
I don't even know if I have anything to pop it in anymore.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
You ever throw corn in a campfire?
I have never done it. I would like to.
It's kind of fun.
Sounds fun.
Yeah, it's kind of
I'll
fun.
do that.
Yeah.
All right.
As long as everybody has helmets on.
Poke your eye out.
All right, good morning to you. Happy Friday. What's going on, man?
Well, yesterday we talked about it was Plant a Flower Day, and it was also Skin Protection Day. And, it's springtime. It's time to think of those things. And here's another one that comes right along with it. It is National Dermatologist Day.
Ooh.
And I was thinking about the careers of dermatology and how they see people at both ends of the spectrum. They see us when we're young and filled with acne, and see us when we're old and they're starting to lob and cut things off of us because it's not supposed to be there. Yeah. So anyway, interesting career. And my dermatologist does know me on a first name basis.
They should.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cut on you.
Yeah, I mean, they.
Do they say you get well cards afterwards?
Well, they come in. They have. Obviously, you come to terms with the terms that they use, and one is shave biopsy.
Yeah.
If you hear, we're going to do a shave biopsy, something's going to get cut off. And then, they come in with that little freeze can, because they got stuff they're going to freeze. Well, when they come in for me, they come in with 2 cans.
They have holsters?
Yeah. Quick draw artist.
Yeah.
But I truly value my relationship with my dermatologist.
So here's the question, Mr. Skin cutoff guy.
Yeah.
Are you wearing big brim hats these days?
You know what? And I have told this to my dermatologist, if I had it all to do over again, I would.
Yeah.
And, especially part of my problem is, being, I'm skiing my whole life since I was a kid, and being exposed to the sun's rays bouncing off of snow at high elevation.
Yeah, that's it.
And then, in the old days, we didn't do anything to protect ourselves. We just sat out there and baked in it.
Yeah.
We'd go out there. Anyway, so I have a great relationship with my dermatologist. Also, National. Thank you, man. It's National Jewel Day, recognizing the makers and the jewelers who create the special pieces that take our breath away. And what is the state of jewelry these days? Is it fashionable? Do young people like jewelry? Are we seeing big gaudy things like we may have seen in the past? What's going on out there?
I don't know. I like beautiful, simple jewelry.
Me too.
Yeah. But hey, there are experts out there. I know of the goldsmith here in Southern Oregon. He actually does custom jewelry for people.
Yeah.
It's a thing. In some ways, it's an investment.
Yeah, it is, especially, gold. Well, now these days, silver too, but.
Yeah. I don't know. To each their own, I guess.
Yeah.
The crown jewels are beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
So Kate is wearing, Princess Kate is wearing some of her, would have been her mother-in-law's
jewelry. Yes.
And there's some pictures of her wearing some of this stuff. It is absolutely elegant.
And stunning.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, it's really nice.
You bet.
Yeah.
All right. Well, it is also National Good Samaritan Day.
Oh.
Recognizing the unselfish actions of those who provide help when someone is in need.
All right.
Straight out of the Bible. I love, sometimes people who don't have much faith use biblical terms and they don't even realize it, do they?
Good Samaritan.
That's good stuff.
That's where Samaritan's Purse came from.
Yeah. Also National Canine Veterans Day, recognizing the dedicated K-9 units who have served since World War II. And I've done a couple stories on that. It's interesting how that evolved. But I lump it together. It's not only those who are in the armed services, but those K-9 units in law enforcement, because they're all on the front line, and boy, very important to their handlers and their partners. So then we got one thing to eat. It's National Coconut Torte Day. Yeah, recognizing a rich dessert featuring the decadent flavor of coconut and decorated with it too. The word torte in German, it literally means cake. So torte refers to both a multi-layered cake filled with buttercream, jam, or cream, and to a rich, moist, and dense single-layered cake. A torte may be made with little to no flour, but instead with ground nuts or breadcrumbs, as well as sugar, eggs, and flavoring. And of course, the coconut, that's the healthy part. It's got fiber, vitamin B6, iron, and minerals like magnesium, manganese, phosphorus, selenium, and zinc.
Okay, is that raw or on a cake?
On a cake. And listen to this. Okay. Here's for our skin. The oil from coconut moisturizes our skin and also helps keep our skin clear and our hair silky, too.
Yes.
Yeah.
We put it on before we go on the air. It's not working.
Okay.
All right, here's a guy who's just tried the oil, he's tried eating it, he's tried wearing it, and he's been called it.
Here's your Friday forecast from Grange Co-op. Across northern Oregon and southern Washington, Vancouver, Portland, Wilsonville, and McMinnville plan on a cool, showery day with on and off showers or showers likely, highs in the low to mid-50s. Moving down the Willamette Valley, rainy and breezy from Salem and Albany through Corvallis and Eugene, with daytime high temperatures in the mid-50s and a south wind gusting up to 21 miles per hour. A chance of rain and breezy today across central Oregon, with daytime highs near 58 in Prineville, low to mid-50s in Bend and Sun River. Over in Boise, Idaho, a slight chance of rain, mostly cloudy, and highs in the mid-60s. Along the Oregon coast, rain in Coos Bay with a high near 60 and Port Orford near 57. A chance of showers in mid-50s in Brookings and patchy fog with a chance of rain in Crescent City, California and a high near 59. Across southern Oregon, partly to mostly sunny in the Rogue Valley and Klamath Basin. Highs in the low to mid-60s for Grants Pass, Medford, Ashland, and Klamath Falls with a light northwest wind. Into northern California, mostly sunny from Wairika with a high near 67 through Redding and Chico with highs into the low 80s. Partly sunny in Sacramento with a high near 81 and low in the low 50s. In the Bay Area, early patchy fog, then partly sunny in Santa Rosa and mostly sunny in Napa with highs in the mid-70s. Partly sunny in San Francisco with a high near 71. And today in San Jose, mostly sunny and 79.
It's a look at your Tuesday weather from Grange Co-op.
Oops. Sorry about that. That's when Jerry was eating too much coconut. That's actually Friday's weather. Anyway.
No, it's actually, it is Friday's weather.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just, wow.
All right, anyway, what a beautiful sky. Look at that sunrise this morning. Isn't that pretty? That's just got a little of everything mixed into it. Really, really nice. Gorgeous. And the planes are flying this morning. People are leaving town. People are coming to town.
Yeah.
Good stuff all the way around. All right.
Okay. Well, have you noticed that God doesn't always remove the storms of our life?
Yeah.
But here with great encouragement is the Reverend Billy Graham.
You know, worry in this country is at an all-time high, and a doctor at the Mayo Clinic said a few weeks ago, quote, "Worry affects the circulation, the heart, and the glands and the whole nervous system, and profoundly affects the health." And Jesus is promising all the time to replace the worry with joy, His joy. He said that your joy may be full. You remember when the Hurricane Belle was pounding its way up the Atlantic? The National Weather Map, if you remember, showed a 25-mile swath of complete calm precisely in the center of that hurricane. And that's exactly what Jesus said. He said, in the midst of the hurricane of life, in the midst of the storms of life, I can give you peace. He said, in the world ye shall have tribulation, but I've spoken unto you that in me ye might have peace. In the center of the hurricane is a place of calm. And that's what Christ brings in the middle of your life. He doesn't remove the hurricane, but he gives peace in the middle of it.
Yeah.
Great illustration.
Great illustration.
That is wonderful.
Let us not forget that. All right, let's take a look at some of the top stories this morning. Boy, there is a ton of them. Yesterday was a very sad incident at a Michigan synagogue. It looks like it's the largest Reformed synagogue in the country, they claim. And this is where their congregation was the victim of a terrorist gunman. After he rammed his vehicle into the synagogue front door, drove down the highway or down the hallway.
Yeah.
And shooting. Yeah. And apparently he was killed. Mm-hmm. Some of the people were injured, but he was the only one that was killed. And the FBI has taken over the investigation, which is really remarkable. In the meantime, the Oakland, Michigan County Sheriff, which is Michael Bouchard, describes what the security faced when they came on the scenes, and here's what he had to say.
At least one individual came to the temple. Security saw him, engaged him in gunfire. The scene, we're not getting any active stimulus at the moment. We have everything here that we need, including, medics and tactical gear. We're looking to see if there's more than one person. We're still trying to figure that out. We're trying to get access to the video. At the moment, we just tell people that shelter in place for at least a mile area until we determine that there's no one else that maybe was on foot and fled the area, until we figure out exactly what's going on.
Well, it's really interesting. Late yesterday, they did not describe this as a terrorist attack, even though this person's history certainly indicates that. Yeah. So we'll see where this goes, and it's really bad. And I do know this, even talking to Rabbi Zaslow here in Southern Oregon, which we've had a relationship with, just a neat guy for over 40 years. And that is, all synagogues across the country now have armed guards. 24/7 around their facility. Can you imagine that?
And you know what? We know that's happening in most churches now, too. Houses of worship right now have become very vulnerable and almost seem like targets. Mm-hmm. This is a sad day.
It's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Well, yesterday, unfortunately, there was another shooting. It was at the Old Dominion University there in Virginia. And apparently, the gunman there did kill one person, and then he himself was killed. FBI Director Kash Patel says that the Old Dominion shooting is an act of terrorism, and here's what the department had to say.
Prior to him conducting this act of terrorism, he shouted, stated Allah Akbar, and he was formerly a subject of a FBI investigation in material supporting terrorism. To where he may have been before this, who he may have been in contact with, if he had any other supporters, anybody providing him information. So we have to track every single lead down, and that is exactly what the FBI will do. Every single lead, we're going to track down the veracity of the information and make sure that we have a full investigation with as much information, again, to ensure that there isn't anyone else that he may have been receiving support from as well.
Okay, in the meantime, the county sheriff weighs in on what happened there at the university and said that they'll be now concentrating on more safety protocols. At least they're going to be reevaluating them. Here's what he had to say.
We don't have metal detectors in our classrooms, in our academic buildings. They're used at special events. We use them. We were there very quick. And based on the number of officers that we have, and the response time was well under what I expected it would have been. We're certainly going to be mindful that we need to be more present. I think that is an expectation that I would have if I were a parent, and we will do that. But it depends on how this unfolds as to what direction we take. But we would definitely want to make our students feel as safe as they can, and presence is a way to do that.
Well, I just mentioned to Jerry, look, folks, I think we need to understand something. We're always going to look at something after it happens. Mm-hmm. I think we need to understand we're living in a very, I don't want to overreact on this, but we're living in a very dangerous culture. church leaders and members, elders, pastors, you need to take this seriously.
Yeah.
Okay? Ministries need to take this seriously and be on top of it. In the meantime, the president was asked yesterday, are we on top of the sleeper cells inside the United States? Because now what's happening in Iran apparently is triggering some of these seeker cells. And you got to ask yourself, the 2 attacks yesterday, apparently from terrorists, are these reactions to sleeper cells? Here's what the president had to say about that.
A lot of people came in through Biden with this stupid open border, but we know where most of them are. We've got our eye on all of them, I think. Is it dozens? They came in through the open border policies of Sleepy Joe Biden, one of the worst president in the history of our country. And we've got our eyes on all of them, but the war itself is being prosecuted at a level that nobody's seen before. It's pretty amazing to watch.
I did read yesterday that, you know, and I say this only because I hope it's true, we'll put it that way, that apparently local law enforcement from state down to county, down to city police or, you know, metropolitan police are on alert now for cell activities. And we need to be. And we need to be, and that's what's happening. In the meantime, in the Middle East, the attacks continue to strike their neighbors. Iran's just lobbing things over the fence, including Bahrain, Saudi Arabia, the United Arab, excuse me, the United Arab Emirates, reporting that they have received continued attacks from Iran. They're not making any friends by doing this, and there's more development of the Strait of Hormuz being blocked and ships being attacked. So where the president and the Secretary of War is saying we pretty much have wiped out Iran, you got this stuff going on. And so I don't know where the
I wonder, because I was listening to Secretary Pete Hegseth on the way in, and he was talking about the fact that they have no Air Force, they have no Navy, the leadership is underground, they don't know where command and control is, yet they have enough power to close the Strait of Hormuz, and we see what's happening with the price of oil as a result. So I'm not quite sure how to take all this.
Well, I don't either. I mean, apparently what they're counting on is they're running out of missiles. Where they find them and they see them, they take them out. But their supply is dwindling fast. And it looks like the only thing they have left are missiles. But, you know, they put them in houses, they put them in garages, they put them in the back of Toyota pickup trucks.
And even at that, they say they only have like 10% left. So dwindling supplies?
That's what they say.
Okay.
We'll see. But anyway, certainly continue to pray. This is just a really, and the residual effect of this across the country and around the world is still very substantial. All right, those are the top stories on this Friday morning. We'll take a coconut break. We'll be right back.
All God's children of love and light, every heart will be unified.
Since 1934, Grange Co-op has been more than just a store. We've been a cornerstone of our community, owned by people like you. We proudly offer top-quality farm and ranch supplies, including our own Rogue feed, as well as workwear, Western apparel, garden essentials, and pet care products. By signing up as a Grange Rewards customer, you not only enjoy exclusive benefits like special offers and 1% back on most purchases, but you also become part of something bigger, a cooperative that you own and help shape. Join Grange Rewards today.
Answers with Bayless Conley on the Dove TV.
The root of sin was so deep, and the distance between God and man was so great that nothing short of the blood of God's own Son could remedy the situation.
Pastor and author Bayless Conley is known for his clear presentation of the gospel and the way he applies it to life's changing truths.
We were the sheep that went astray, but he was the lamb that was slaughtered. He suffered for us in our place.
He shares answers he's found years ago when trying to find fulfillment in his own life. After chasing everything imaginable, he discovered true lasting hope exists only in a relationship with Jesus.
I'm going to share a secret with you that if you'll listen and if you'll apply it, it will change your life.
Get answers to life's biggest questions with Bayless Conley, Tuesday, Saturday, and Sunday on the Dove TV.
Put your gold in an envelope, mail it. Hopefully you get a check. Nah. Father and son jewelry, bring your gold in. We weigh it, we check it, we make you the offer.
Or turn your something old into something new. Whether it's an idea, a picture, or a piece you want to duplicate, we can melt it down and make it for you.
If you find your perfect piece in store, trade your something old for something new, and you always get a little extra.
Visit Father and Son Jewelry, 5 generations of family in Medford.
All right, good morning to you. 20 minutes now past the hour. Well, some backyard news. As you know, Oregon just came out of its special session, or what they call the short session. And we're now going into a campaign season, and our governor's up for re-election. We've been told the most unpopular governor in the country. 2 or 3 of her top aides left this week.
Okay. Yeah.
They're spinning it as other things. You know,
Right.
they're going to other jobs.
Right.
The education union did not endorse her. She got the whole state mad at her for passing a gas tax, trying to add 6 cents to the gallon, and then trying to gerrymander that from November to May.
Right.
All of this stuff is catching up with her. So we got a lot of people running for governor, a bunch on the Democratic side. Well, I shouldn't say that. I'm thinking California.
Okay.
Only one on the Democratic side, and that's her. And on the Republican side, there's quite a few.
That's where the bunch is.
Yeah. So Phil Knight, who is now they're saying he's probably the wealthiest guy in Oregon, co-founder of Nike. He is giving or gave Chris Dudley $1 million. Chris Dudley is a former Blazer basketball guy that ran for governor back when John Kitzer was governor. Came pretty close. Came within a point and a half of beating him. He went out now. He's a business guy. I think he's a financial planner type of guy. And so he's throwing his hat back in the ring again to run for governor. And so he's out running for governor again. So Phil Knight says he's going to put his money behind him. So this brings him up from what the report says. Now, I haven't seen any of the financial campaign filings yet, so I can't verify this. But the report says that this $1 million donation from Phil Knight to Chris Dudley brings his campaign funds up to about equal to where Christine Drazen is, the other person who ran against Kotek earlier and came very close.
Yeah.
She's entered again right now. So this is going to be interesting. I'm not sure, other than $1 million, don't get me wrong, that buys a lot of ad time. I'm trying to figure out if Chris Dudley is known enough to come back and do it again. I mean, he's seen as a Republican outsider. He is pro-choice, and that probably will play well in the upper counties. But he's using that as to being seen as somewhat as a moderate Republican. Christine is very much a very solid conservative. So I don't know if this $1 million helps them in the end. So the only thing I can say, we're going into April here shortly. You're going to see a ton of ads for all of these candidates between now and our May primary. And it'll be starting here within the next week or so.
Yeah. So are they going to eat their own? Is this going to be a campaign against each other that's going to muddy them up so badly that they come out in, whoever emerges into the general election is really stained?
Great question, and normally Republicans do eat their own in campaigns.
Yeah.
I think on this one, that's not going to happen.
Okay.
Christine just needs to stay on message because she knows how government works, and she's been there and she understands it, and she's been a hawk for us. Chris Dudley is going to have to come back in and establish himself as a legitimate player.
Okay.
He could bring the business acumen part into the campaign, which could be good for him. We'll see how that goes.
Okay.
But he's going to have to buy a lot of name recognition as being a serious candidate. Okay. His pro-choice stance will hurt him. I think that could hurt him in the primary. It would help him in the general, but it'll hurt him in the primary. That's
interesting, because primary is us.
Primary pretty much goes with the solid person. So anyway, he got $1 million. I mean, listen, I can tell you that's a nice day for a campaign.
Do you think Democrats pay heed or pay any attention to Phil Knight, this guy who is an influential businessman in our state. Everybody knows who's got better name recognition than Phil Knight.
Yeah, that's a great question.
I wonder.
Most Democrats don't know what business is about. They think it's it's just a popcorn machine. So I don't know. I will say this, that Phil Knight has been very benevolent in campaigns gone past. I mean, he's helped a lot of Republicans and independents.
Yeah.
I don't know where he is philosophically, but it looks like he leans right.
Yes.
Okay, so that's a good thing. He's a businessman. Of course he would lean right.
Yeah.
So we'll see. $1 million is $1 million. I don't know what it does. So, all right, let's check out Wall Street, where maybe you could make $1 million today. I don't know.
I don't know.
Thank you, Preston, with Smart Lawn. He's smart. All right. Excuse me. The Dow's back up, we'll call it 212 points. The Nas comes out of the chutes 108 points up, and the S&P's up 33. So they're trying to end the week a little bit on the green side. That's good news. We've got to get it back up there. Gold's down a few pennies, but still pretty high, 51.06. Silver's at 83. Crude oil. They're saying crude oil's down.
At 96.18. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, that's pretty high.
Oh wow.
That's not good.
Oh no, start walking.
Yeah.
Well, here's a word we haven't heard in the news in the last couple of days. Tariffs.
Tariffs.
Well, tariffs.
Oh, tariffs.
Tariffs, yeah.
Okay,
what do you think about tariffs? We've seen all kinds of legal action on it. Now, the president is talking about a 10% universal tariff. So, Stratagas head of policy research, Dan Clifton, on Kudlow, analyzes President Donald Trump's tariff replacement plan.
The president went through the Supreme Court and faced some legal risk. To replicate that same tariff regime, the president put forward a two-point plan. That two-part plan, number one, created a 10% universal tariff that's in place today. But Larry, that can only last 150 days. So that's going to expire in July. What that is it's buying time for these new Section 301 investigations that the president launched yesterday. And that will take several months before those investigations finally are completed. And once they do, the president's going to have very similar tariff powers as he did before the Supreme Court invalidated his tariff. So this is the completion of that replacement plan, starting that process to getting there. He hits most of the major countries right at the beginning, and it will look very similar. I would say that you are seeing the effective tariff rate come down. You're seeing supply chains adjust to the tariff regime. It's actually working as a pretty big tariff rate cut for U.S. consumers. And until you get that Section 301 power, the tariff revenue will be a little bit lower additionally than what the president had before IEEPA was ruled out by the Supreme Court.
So, did the Supreme Court gain anything?
I don't know.
It doesn't appear like their ruling had any teeth to it.
Yeah. And we've seen that in a couple decisions that they've handed down, and certainly in the past administration we saw some of this going on.
So is the Supreme Court caught in the ambiguities of the legislature making crazy laws?
I don't know. That's a great question. I don't know.
What am I missing here? Coconut.
Coconut.
I'm missing coconut. All right, we'll take a coconut break. We'll be right back. What an amazing year of growth last year for the Dove. You, our viewers and partners, blessed us with a new studio, a video wall to create sets for new local programming, a state-of-the-art control room, and much-needed insulation, along with heating and air conditioning. Plus, you helped us renew many tower leases, so we can continue to bring you the Dove all across our network and a brand new full-power TV station. And from everyone here at the Dove, a huge thank you. We could have never done this without you. Your prayers and support is allowing the Dove to bring the gospel, encouragement, and information to millions more people needing the hope of Christ worldwide.
We appreciate you standing with the Dove prayerfully and financially in our mission to reach people with the good news via television, radio, and streaming online. Thank you for your continued faithful support in keeping the Dove encouraging and informative 24 hours a day.
The Dove TV streams worldwide on Roku and Apple TV, plus online at thedove.us.
I'm Susanna, and I contracted KA Designs to do custom cabinets throughout my house. We chose a really beautiful maple wood that really creates like a nice airy space. Everything was custom, and it was really cool because I got to literally see it come to life in person. We love to entertain, and we have a large family, so everything came together perfectly, exactly what I wanted. I highly suggest KA Designs if you're looking to design your dream house. Go check them out in their showroom. You will not be disappointed.
Buying or selling a home can be stressful. It's one of the biggest decisions you'll make in your lifetime. That's why it's important to work with someone you trust, someone who has the right experience and knowledge of the market.
Hi, we're Patrick and Paulina Leiser with Leiser Real Estate Group.
And whether you're looking to buy or sell a home, our mission is to take the stress out of the transaction and make it as seamless and rewarding as possible.
Contact us today. We look forward to working with you.
Good morning to you. Happy Friday, 29 minutes before the hour on a beautiful Friday morning. Took us 4 days to get here. Things are happening. By the way, Mount Ashland is officially closed.
Closed
for the
indeed.
season.
Yep.
We do know that they are planning on a major rehab.
Yeah, they got
a
couple new chairs coming in. Windsor and Ariel chairs are scheduled to be replaced. Initially, they were going to do Ariel chair first. It is the oldest, and it probably
it's the oldest on the West Coast.
Yeah, and it may be the oldest in the country.
Okay.
When they installed that in 1964, it was used. I'm not kidding you. It was a used chairlift. So anyway, but I think they're going to go after the Windsor chair first. It showed some signs that it needs replacing before. So I think they're going to go after it this summer. We'll see what happens.
So my question is, obviously we've had a short snow season.
Yeah.
There's enough snow up there to stop them from starting now.
I would think they could get going, yeah.
I mean, they could get a jump on it.
Yeah, we should give them a call this afternoon and see what their plans are.
I want one of their chairs.
I do too. When they take down those chairs, especially the Ariel chair, that Ariel chair is iconic. And I'm sure they're going to use that as a fundraiser to pay for some of this stuff.
Yeah.
So, they'll come with a premium price, but boy, what a treasure to have.
Oh, we could hang it in here as a swing.
Yeah, yes. Yeah.
That'd be cool.
I look at those chairs. Our babies grew up on those chairs.
Yeah.
They were little kids when they were riding up on it.
I rode those chairs, not as much as you.
There you go.
I'm a smart skier. I stayed in the trail.
Out of the fog?
Out of the fog.
Oh, come on.
Right,
what fun is that?
Let's check in with Chris Mitchell on CBN News.
Here's the latest from our news desk. Iran and Hezbollah, they've ramped up their attacks on Israel and other Middle East players overnight and continuing here today on Thursday. And as President Trump says, the war will be over soon.
Hezbollah launched around 200 missiles at northern Israel overnight in a coordinated attack with Iran, which launched 4 ballistic missile salvos. The attacks continued on Thursday morning, sending Israelis to bomb shelters as shrapnel fell on Jerusalem.
So here we are at the bomb shelter again this morning. You can hear there's quite a few people in here. As we were coming down the steps, we heard the booms of the interceptions, a couple of children here running around, and it's a very, very stark reality.
The IDF said it knew the attack was coming hours in advance.
The attempt to expand the shooting to many areas in the country is a direct response to the extensive and deep damage and pressure we are exerting on them, and this pressure is increasing day by day.
Overnight, Israel launched a wave of strikes targeting Hezbollah terror infrastructure, dismantling dozens of launchers and eliminating Hezbollah operatives. It also targeted 10 structures in Hezbollah's stronghold in Beirut, including the intelligence headquarters and command centers. On the ground in southern Lebanon, Israeli troops located and dismantled rocket launchers and weapons storage facilities.
We are targeting the head of the octopus in Iran. Its arms in Lebanon are hurting, and now it's doing everything it can to assist its sponsor in Iran. Therefore, by targeting it in Lebanon, we are also weakening it by targeting Iran.
The Lebanese government declared it's opposed to Hezbollah attacking Israel, but its army has not moved to stop it. U.S. forces continue striking Iranian planes, boats, and trucks. President Trump says the U.S. is making great progress and the war will be over soon.
And we have very good news on the war front. Namely, they are absolutely being destroyed. Iran is being absolutely decimated. That's all I can say.
He also said the U.S. doesn't want to leave too early, stating, "We've got to finish the job." Meanwhile, Iran continues to target other Middle East countries, with a drone hitting a tower in Dubai, a strike triggering a huge fire at a facility in Bahrain, and several attacks against commercial ships around the Strait of Hormuz. The fighting in the Strait is sending oil back over $100 a barrel. The International Energy Agency is releasing 400 million barrels of oil from its emergency reserves, the largest in its 69-year history, about a quarter of the global seaborne oil trade, as well as liquefied natural gas and fertilizers pass through the Strait of Hormuz. In the U.S., anti-terror officials issued a warning to law enforcement in California about the potential threat of an Iranian drone strike launched from an offshore boat. The alert is based on information that Iran has considered such a strike, but there is no confirmed or imminent threat. Julie Stahl, CBN News, Jerusalem.
Stand up. You're there in the bomb shelter. Actually, it was downstairs from here. You know, that was emblematic of what we all shared this morning. We all have our individual story. What's yours?
Well, we were here, and I was typing, and I heard the pre-alarm, and I yelped because it was startling, and all I could think, you know, I had to think quick. Okay, I have to do this and this and this. Are we really going to get an alarm? Because you know it's a few floors down.
Mm-hmm. 6, by the way. 7, actually.
Yeah, more than that,
Yeah.
actually. And we actually rode the elevator down to the 2nd floor, and as it often happens, the door wouldn't open. So we had to go back up and then down, and then on the way down, we ran it. You know, we saw all the people. And then we thought, okay, this is a good time to show people what's happening.
Yeah. Joshua, what was your story?
Well, mine was pretty dramatic as well. Marion, one of our producers here, had picked me up because I had a bunch of bags and I had the dog and I had to pick up my dry cleaning, which is a thing. So we had picked up the dry cleaning. Literally, we had just pulled over, typical Israeli parking, up on the curb. I jumped out of the car and the alarms went off, the pre-alarms. And as I'm in the getting my laundry, the real alarms go off, and so I run back out to the car, and actually some of the footage you're going to see here in a second is reminiscent of exactly what happened. Marion and I happened to be close to City Hall, and so right here, this shot for the viewers, boom, boom, just like that, 2 giant interceptors went up and we saw them. So I jumped in the car and I said, Marion, go, 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 because we were right under it. And as we all know, the danger is shrapnel.
Right.
Right, and what we see some of there is the shrapnel actually was at the bottom of King David Street.
That's right.
And so I was on my way, and I was on Bethlehem Road, and decided to stop the car. The sirens were going off, and I saw the interceptors too go up. There had to be about 3 of them, I think, at least 3. And then a number of Israelis ran into the bomb shelter. I followed them, and that's where I was for about 10 or 15 minutes until they all cleared.
Yeah.
Well, we actually drove right past a piece of shrapnel that had fallen in the road. So it shows you just how serious this is. And it could be, of course, a missile from Iran, but it also could just be shrapnel from the interceptor.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right.
And that's why you have to wait about 10 minutes after the all clear, or to make sure that no debris is falling down.
Yeah.
Wow. Can you imagine that? Wow. Can you be driving along and all of a sudden a piece of metal goes through your car?
Oh, man.
Well, I had Rabbi on yesterday from Shiloh, Israel, and he has the Israel's Children Fund. And I think we forget that war, can you imagine children living in a war zone most of their early childhood?
No.
Hearing sirens going off in the middle of the night, being woken up and taken to a bomb shelter to spend the rest of your night.
Right.
So it's creating a lot of emotional trauma with these children. And that's just the children, let alone the adults. I can't even imagine. And you know, it hasn't been just this since this war. They've lived with this, well, in a higher alert state since October 7th, a year or so ago.
Yeah.
But they've always lived like this.
Exactly have.
It's
Yes.
just, absolutely crazy. All right, let's check out with the weather with...
You said crazy? What? Here's your Friday forecast from Grange Co-op. Across northern Oregon and southern Washington, Vancouver, Portland, Wilsonville, and McMinnville plan on a cool, showery day with on and off showers or showers likely, highs in the low to mid-50s. Moving down the Willamette Valley, rainy and breezy from Salem and Albany through Corvallis and Eugene, with daytime high temperatures in the mid-50s and a south wind gusting up to 21 miles per hour. A chance of rain and breezy today across central Oregon with daytime highs near 58 in Prineville, low to mid-50s in Bend and Sun River. Over in Boise, Idaho, a slight chance of rain, mostly cloudy, and highs in the mid-60s. Along the Oregon coast, rain in Coos Bay with a high near 60 and Port Orford near 57. A chance of showers in mid-50s in Brookings and patchy fog with a chance of rain in Crescent City, California, and a high near 59. Across southern Oregon, partly to mostly sunny in the Rogue Valley and Klamath Basin. Highs in the low to mid-60s for Grants Pass, Medford, Ashland, and Klamath Falls with a light northwest wind. Into northern California, mostly sunny from Wairika with a high near 67 through Redding and Chico with highs into the low 80s. Partly sunny in Sacramento with a high near 81 and low in the low 50s. In the Bay Area, early patchy fog, then partly sunny in Santa Rosa and mostly sunny in Napa with highs in the mid-70s. Partly sunny in San Francisco with a high near 71. And today in San Jose, mostly sunny and 79.
It's a look at your Friday weather from Grange Co-op.
There we go. And there's Mount Ashland with just a little patch at the very top.
One last patch.
One last patch.
Yeah, you can ski that.
Beautiful shot.
Yeah. Oh, golly, but it is close. All right. Well, you know, these days we have AI. Remember the olden days when we relied on encyclopedias? Man, you go in there and there'd be a big, long shelf full of them. Well, this company...
I had the white and green ones.
Oh, yeah?
Yep. In our house.
You know,
I wasn't a great student. I was okay, wasn't a great student. But you know, when I was a young guy, I thought, well, how long is this going to last?
The encyclopedias?
Yeah.
You actually had that foresight?
Well,
what?
Yeah, I kind of did. I thought, well, now I look back and I guess I was smarter than I thought I was.
You were on the money.
I was reading this and I thought, well, okay, that's history.
Yeah. Right, and yeah, the history of the world and everything else that's going on around. Well, this company was publishing them for 244 years.
Wow.
But it was on this day in history that Britannica ceased hard copy editions. On March 13th, 2012, one of the most famous reference books in the world turned a historic page. After more than 2 centuries in print, Encyclopedia Britannica announced it would stop publishing its traditional multi-volume printed sets. The encyclopedia's history stretches all the way back to 1768 in Edinburgh, where its first edition was published in 3 volumes. Over the years, Britannica grew into a symbol of knowledge itself, those tall shelves of carefully bound books found in libraries, schools, and living rooms around the world. But by the 21st century, the internet had changed how people search for information. Rather than disappear, Britannica evolved. The company shifted fully to digital publishing, offering online articles, educational resources, and classroom tools used by millions of students worldwide. So while the famous printed volumes are now history, the mission remains the same, sharing trusted knowledge, but now in a very modern form. So where did all the door-to-door encyclopedia salesmen go?
Over to the used car lot.
Oh, it's probably true. It probably is. Because they were out there on the streets. They were selling them.
Well, you know, they were kind of like the vacuum cleaner salesman.
Yeah, exactly right. You know,
well, that's the way they did it in those days.
Yeah, you know, Pam, not that many years ago, scheduled a young guy to come up and give us a vacuum cleaner demonstration. I'm like, have you lost your mind? Do you know what that's all about? This is about getting us to buy a $600 or an $800 vacuum cleaner. We have a perfectly good vacuum cleaner. Why are we doing this? Well, I want to be nice. He's a young guy. He's trying to get a start. Yeah, but how nice is it when you let a guy come up into our house and I'm going to say, no, thank you for your presentation. There's the door. It's like, oh, am I venting?
You just did. I didn't know they were still doing that.
In
the country?
Yeah, I don't know if they're still doing it or not, but this was not that many years ago. It's in the house that we're living in now, and it's like, why did you do this? Do I have to do this? Do I have to sit here, or can you do it yourself?
That was before Amazon.
You know, it was no, Amazon was still, yes, Amazon was on.
Can you get a haircut on Amazon?
That's a good question.
I don't know.
Okay.
Let's check. Hey, we need a little more levity. Let's check in with Ken Davis.
We had something happen at our church. I was at a meeting at church, and my wife has always told me, don't leave the keys in the ignition of the car. But when the meeting was done, I couldn't find my keys. I checked everywhere. Under the table, I checked at the reception desk, no keys. No keys anywhere. And then I remembered, I bet you I left them in the ignition. Because this is a smart thing to do. If they're in the ignition, you don't have to find them in some crack. You find the car, whoo, there's the keys. But my wife, Diane, has told me, do not leave the keys in the car. She said, someone is going to steal your car. Don't do it. Well, I knew she was going to be upset. I went out to get the car. It was gone. It should have been right outside the door. It was gone. I called the police. I told them the church I was at. I said, someone has stolen my car. And then I made the most important call of all. I called my wife, Diane. And when she answered the phone, I said, sweet baby, I have disobeyed you. I left the keys in the ignition of the car, and the car has been stolen. Nothing, just silence. I said, sweet baby, are you there? Nothing. I thought AT&T had dropped a call. I said, baby, are you there? And she said, Ken, I dropped you off at church. I said, come and get me. And she said, I will, as soon as I convince this policeman I have not stolen your car.
I love
that. Went from bad to worse.
Oh, you know, it makes me feel so much better, though. It really does.
Yeah, it does.
Oh.
Actually, that story has a little piece to it, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
Yeah, I just...
thank you, Ken Davis, for that.
Well, somebody asked me the other day, you know, my age, and I said, well, listen, let me put it this way. Yeah, I'm still doing stupid things. Leave me alone.
The trouble is, now I'm doing stupid things for different reasons.
Yeah, but I'm still doing stupid things. I'm fine. Just leave me alone.
Yeah,
okay.
Thank you. I like it.
All right, we're going to go look for Jerry's car. We'll be right back.
The Pregnancy Center in Medford is a place of hope, providing free pregnancy testing, ultrasounds, options counseling, and support to help women make informed, empowered choices. The Pregnancy Center is growing, hiring registered nurses to join our compassionate team. Work in a supportive environment where you can truly make a difference. No ultrasound experience? No problem. We'll train you in limited ultrasonography, a valuable new skill set for your career. To learn more, visit thepregnancycenter.us. Thepregnancycenter.us.
Panoramic Moto Tours was born really out of my passion just to ride Grace back roads and the scenic highways in our beautiful Northwest. God put it on my heart to share the experiences and invite others. More than riding beautiful roads, it's the camaraderie and fellowship. It's hearing each other's stories. It's being mutually encouraged on our journeys of life.
Riders can book one of our ready-to-ride guided tours offering the best of Oregon or Northern California. Or book a private custom tour tailored just for your group to destinations like Glacier or Yellowstone. For more information, go to
panoramicmototours.com or call me, Nick, at 541-622-3844. When you find something you love, you just want to share it.
panoramicmototours.com. Your next adventure starts here.
Hi, I'm Ryan Robertson, host of a brand new program on the Dove, Ministries on the Move. Ministries on the Move spotlights the incredible work of how God is using everyday people and organizations, putting their faith into action, serving the hurting, strengthening families, and sharing the hope of the gospel in practical ways. Be inspired and discover these Ministries on the Move. Tuesdays and Thursdays at 4 p.m., right here on the Dove TV. Encouraging and informative. More at thedove.us.
All right, welcome back. As we live in these anxious times, lately I've received a lot of articles about biblical prophecy. And it's really interesting to read some of this stuff, and I don't know what to do with it, quite frankly.
Yeah.
I respect biblical prophecy, but I also know there's 9,000 interpretations of it all. But one of the scriptures that's used a lot is Matthew 24, where in the last days Jesus is talking about it'll be like the days of Noah. So what Dr. David Jeremiah does here, he actually looks at the days of Noah and when Jesus was saying this in his day and what he actually meant about it. So here's his interpretation.
When Jesus was describing what it would be like on earth just before he returned, here's what he said. But as the days of Noah were, so also will be the coming of the Son of Man. For as in the days before the flood, they were eating and drinking, marrying and giving in marriage, until the day that Noah entered the ark, and did not know until the flood came and took them all away, so also will the coming of the Son of Man be. The people of Noah's day ignored and ridiculed his warnings. Noah built and preached for 120 years, and not one single individual outside of his immediate family believed him. The people were so indifferent that they didn't understand what was happening until it was too late. The heedlessness of the people of Noah's day will be duplicated in the last days of our world's history. It will be a day much like ours, a day when ideologies like socialism can sneak in without much attention. Socialism is tailor-made for the Antichrist appearance. It creates global conditions that bring great stress and trouble, difficult days that will be hard to bear. And it demands a one-world system of government, which Scripture says will be established before the end of history. Revelation 13 describes the Antichrist as a beast having vast power and authority. The whole world marveled and gave allegiance to the beast. And he was given authority to rule over every tribe and people and every language and nation and all the people who belong to the world. There's coming a day when there will be a leader who will be in charge of the whole world.
Well, Bible prophecy being what it is, I think he takes the basis of it and simplifies it. So good stuff all the way around. All right, coming up, Dr. Adam Rasmussen will be back with us. He heads up the Cultural Research Center there at Arizona Christian University. Why has biblical worldview fallen to its all-time low in the world, especially in the American church?
Yeah, great question.
And we can unpack this. John O'Connor will be with us. It's always great to have him, a former federal prosecutor, author of the book called Postgate, and we'll be talking about some of the headlines.
All right, and you know we love rescue stories, and I got another one. As a Queensland man is alive today thanks to an incredible chain of events, and it all started off with his barking dog.
Chris's dog Sally had slipped out of the house, and he had just stepped outside to bring her back when he suddenly collapsed from cardiac arrest. That's when Sally started barking. Her loud, persistent barking caught the attention of workers at a nearby store who stepped outside and spotted Chris lying motionless. One of them immediately called Australia's emergency number 000. Moments later, a passing driver who had recently learned CPR stopped to help. Then another twist of fate. An off-duty paramedic who lived next door was woken up and rushed over to assist. Together, they kept Chris alive until first responders arrived and airlifted him to the hospital, where doctors inserted stents to open blocked arteries. Looking back, Chris calls his survival nothing short of a miracle. From a barking dog to quick-thinking strangers to a paramedic neighbor, every piece fell into place at exactly the right moment, giving him a second chance at life.
You know, I've seen a couple of stories where dogs are instrumental in helping lead, like firefighters to a house that's burning or an owner that's down like this one. And I started wondering, what would it be like if that happened to me and my dog was with me? I'd be toast. I would be.
So you're not that close to your dog?
No, my dog would probably just sit with me and lick me.
Oh.
It's like, I have a really nice dog.
Yeah.
Dumb as dirt.
Okay. So, somewhat rhetorical.
Okay.
Do your dogs lay close to you?
If I let them.
Okay. You should.
Okay. Why?
There's more and more research coming out. First of all, if your dog lays close to you, it lowers your blood pressure.
Oh.
And your dogs sense your blood pressure.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay. It's a calming effect. People are laughing.
Okay.
I don't believe this. Okay, but it's true. Okay. So, and then you create this bond. So if you do get into trouble, they'll come looking for you and defend you.
I just don't know if I can explain it. I'll say, honey, Pam, move over. Champ, come here.
Well, now, I'm not quite going that intimate, but I was, hey, laying on the couch.
Yeah, okay. Come on, champ.
Yeah. Or maybe just laying on the floor, Okay. Sorry, Pam.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I've got to think of these things, man.
Pam, I just want to know if Jerry wakes up in the middle of the night, turns 3 circles, scratches the bed, and lays back down.
Are you going to put a flea collar on him? Oh, man.
All right, take Deuteronomy 31:6 with you today. It's a command. Be strong and courageous. Do not fear or be in dread of them, for it is the Lord your God who goes with you, and he will not leave you nor forsake you. All right, take that with you today. So do you get up and turn around 3 times, scratch the bed, and lay back down?
This is too personal.
At Sweet Tea Express, we've got you covered. Order at the counter and our friendly service staff will do the rest. Burgers, salads, sandwiches, barbecue platters, sides, and more. Smoked, grilled, and served to perfection. Sweet Tea Express, breakfast, burgers, and barbecue.
The 71.5 Golf Challenge arrives Saturday, May 16th with a 4-person scramble, morning and afternoon shotguns, and a 6:30 award social. Register your team by April 1st for an early bird special. Score the team player pack for just $20 instead of $100 with the code EARLYBIRDIE. Become a sponsor and help kids across Southern Oregon. Visit 715.org or call 541-779-3275. At the 71.5 Golf Challenge, your drive saves lives.
Growing up in Iran, had we stayed longer, my mom would probably have been beaten to death. That was how horrible the situation was.
Surrounded by anger.
I watched him as a child chasing my mom around the house with a knife.
One man consumed by hatred.
One day, I want to take his life.
Comes face to face with his worst enemy.
What he has done to us, I'm going to do it worse unto him. I hated my dad.
Friday on the 700 Club, right here on the Dove TV.
At Max Mobile Storage, the commitment is simple: to offer unmatched convenience and reliability in storage. Max Mobile Storage delivers containers right to your doorstep, making storage easy and hassle-free. Founded in 2012 in Medford, Oregon, we sell, rent, and fabricate top-quality shipping containers for homes and businesses. Locally owned and operated, we're proud to serve our community with friendly, reliable service you can trust. More information at maxmobilestorage.com. maxmobilestorage.com.
Over time, every wall tells a story, but sometimes those stories need a fresh start. At Chris Silva Painting, we specialize in transforming indoor spaces, whether it's your family home or your business workspace. With premium paints, flexible scheduling, and expert attention to detail, we make the process simple and stress-free so you can focus on what matters most: living and working in a space you love. From bold new colors to subtle tones of sophistication, let Chris Silva Painting bring your vision to life, one wall at a time. Chris and his crew are courteous. They're efficient, organized, timely, and clean. Chris Silva Painting also offers military discounts. At Chris Silva Painting, our mission statement is to bring Christ's heart and principles to our customers and our job sites. We do that with honesty, integrity, and hard work. We don't cut corners, we paint them. CCB number 176097. Chris Silva Painting, 541-890-3960. 541-890-3960.
Focus Today. Focusing on issues affecting you. Join Perry Atkinson weekdays only on the Dove TV.
Well, welcome to Focus Today. I'm your host, Perry Atkinson, and one of the topics that is continuing to create a lot of interest is the decline of biblical worldview. Wow. I'm always honored when we have time to sit down with Dr. Adam Rasmussen. He's a fellow there at the Cultural Research Center and associate professor of humanities at Arizona Christian University. Dr. Rasmussen draws upon his 25 years of experience in Christian education to inspire students to thrive under the lordship of Christ in all aspects of their lives. His research interests, including biblical literacy, educational ministries, and Christian apologetics. And of course, culturalresearchcenter.org is the website. culturalresearchcenter.org. There's a picture of the page. And of course, Arizona Christian University, one of the premier universities out there. Dr. Rasmussen, always a good to see you, friend. How are you?
Doing great, Perry. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thank you. This topic is, wow. What's the latest stats on biblical worldview now?
Well, we have a lot to share with you today, and it's been about the same for the last 3 years. When we look at the incidence of biblical worldview in America, it's been at 4%, and it's still holding, which is better than it was the news that I had to share with you a few years ago when we saw it slip from 6%. We want it to go the other way, though, don't we?
Yes.
And when we talk about biblical worldview, what we're talking about isn't just what people say or maybe a label. It's actually what they believe and how they behave as it is matched against the Bible. And so this is a national study, and we're at 4% right now.
I guess the big question, Doctor, is there a reason for it?
I think there are many reasons for it. And if you want to boil it down to a few of them, it just comes back to teaching the Bible in our churches. I mean, if you look at your hand, you've got 5 fingers, and it's really simple to put the message there. Christ died for our sins. 1 Corinthians 15. And Paul says it is of first importance. And one of the things that is not happening is we're not talking about sin in our churches. We're not teaching the Bible. And how in the world can people come to know the gospel, how the gospel relates to them, how the gospel is seen in the whole Bible, Genesis to Revelation, and then how the gospel and the Bible relate to all of life. And that's what we're talking about. We do have people that have some of the answers and probably have faith in Christ. We call these emergent followers, and they are about 10% of Americans that have understanding, maybe even salvation. And so you put those two numbers together, and there's about 14% of Americans that are holding on to those truths of the gospel, but we want to see them discipled up so that they can become integrated disciples where all of life is for the Lord, not just Sunday mornings, not the Sunday-Monday gap. So that's what we're dealing with. The other number is about 85%. These are what we would call world citizens. And they may have some religious language, even some biblical language, but they don't really operate from a biblical worldview at all.
Are we... I'm trying to figure out how to ask the question. Have we become too relaxed in biblical education within the life of the church? In other words, we used to have Sunday school. We don't have that today in many cases. Is that an issue?
Yes, I agree with you.
Yeah.
We've become too lax in this. I've been doing ministry for over 30 years, and it used to be when I would see young people come in, they would have a lot of knowledge, okay, in their heads, but not a lot of passion in their hearts. And so the work that I would do would be to try to make a connection of the whole person, head, heart, and hands. But we were really trying to engage the heart. Now, people have some sort of vague feeling about religious affections. And I'm not saying that people don't have a relationship with God through Jesus. They may, but it seems to me it's more a heart thing and not much knowledge. And the Bible warns us about this. And didn't Jesus commission us to teach everything he's commanded? I think that the Christian faith is a teaching faith. And so in our music, in our preaching, and as you mentioned, in our Christian education aspects of Sunday school and what we're doing, especially with the children, if you look at the generations that are younger than us, okay, millennials, 1 in 50 of them have a biblical worldview. And in Generation Z, we're looking at 1 in 100. So the younger you are, the less likely it is that you have a biblical worldview. When we think about their children and how they're being brought up in a world of just massive entertainment, they always have these devices in their hands. They're watching all kinds of flow from YouTube and whatever. We're looking at these young minds when their worldview starts to develop at 18 months, and then it is pretty much solidified by the time you're 13. When we look at those young people, children that are being raised by parents who do not have a biblical worldview and are not impressing it upon their children, we need to see things change. And of course, pastors, their programming at church, everything that we are about needs to be about passing on the faith to the next generation. And back to your question, are we doing a good job? I don't think we are.
All right, so let's back up one more step. Let's define biblical worldview, because maybe we are losing it in that definition.
Yes. So a worldview is something that everyone has, and it is the intellectual, emotional, spiritual filter that an individual uses to interact, interpret, experience, and respond to the world. So everyone has a worldview. It is the basis of all of their behaviors. Biblical worldview or biblical theism is one of many worldviews that are out there. And for the biblical worldview, our answers about God, the universe itself, come from what is written in Genesis to Revelation in the scriptures and on biblical commands and principles. So, Perry, when you and I are talking about the standard for our worldview inventory, it's basic. Okay, there are 7 main theological categories and a few behavioral things, in addition to the demographic questions that we ask. But you don't have to have a Bible degree. We have this same survey that we do for adults, for children as well. And it just comes back to the basics. Who is God? He's the loving creator of all and the ruler of all. Jesus is his son. We are sinners. We need salvation by faith in Jesus. Those basic understandings of the Bible, not just religiosity.
Absolutely amazing. We seem to have gone through a period of time where we didn't want to use the word sin because it offended people. It was a harsh word. Out of that came seeker-friendly movement. There's the whole saying, come as you are, stay as you are, and leave as you are. All because we didn't put the conviction, if I can use the conviction aspect of the message in there. Is that part of the problem?
100%. I mean, we have to talk about our deeply flawed nature or transgression or sin, blindness, weakness, deadness, okay, our depravity. The Bible talks about it in a lot of ways. And according to the Pew Research Center in 2019, they did a study of 20,000 sermons across the United States. And what they found was only 3% of sermons even talked about sin or transgression. 3%. And then as it comes to evangelicals, 9%. So what are we talking about at church if we're not talking about our moral need, a holy God, Jesus, and what he did when he died on the cross? Christ died for our sins. That is the way God looks at us. And when we look at life, that's really what it's about. It's about continuing to cultivate moral virtue to the glory of God by the power of the Holy Spirit as we love one another and live biblically changed lives. That's really what life is about. It's about saving the lost and preparing to live forever with God. Now, that should be our preoccupation. We all have an occupation, we all have a vocation, and we do that, some of us as pastors, teachers, most of us throughout life. But if we're not teaching about the centrality of the gospel in all things, we're missing the mark.
Is there a turn? And the reason I realize that's a big question, but I'm also seeing something interesting because there's been a period of time where there were these different interpretations of Scripture that God wanted you to be blessed and happy and all that. And that's a part of it. But the point being is it moved away from what you called the centrality of the gospel. Is there a turn back?
Absolutely. We've seen this even in Scripture itself, where the apostle has to remind us, or we see in the Old Testament, the prophets call the people of God back to faith in him and to cast off idols. This is part of what it means to live for God as we're waiting for Christ to return. And we've seen this in the Great Awakening movements. We've seen this in the First and Second Great Awakening. We've seen it, in our own lives as we've had times of renewal where we come back to that wonderful, glorious gospel that God receives sinners, that he came to seek and to save that which was lost. Perry, in 1994, biblical worldview was in America the same thing that we're measuring today. It was at 12%.
Wow.
And it has been on a decline, but it can go back. These are just, we're just looking at social science here on some constructs, okay? And we're looking at measures of central tendency. We're just looking at numbers. Those can change, and they have changed. We can see that as just normal people in their everyday life say, I'm all in. There's nothing more important to me in life than my relationship with God through Jesus Christ. Oh, Holy Spirit, take me today and help me to impact just one person. And that we do that consistently. And we think at the Cultural Research Center that you don't have to have a supermajority in America to do this. If we're at about 10% of people that are all in, and God's doing that work, there can be huge sweeping results for the flourishing of all people. Mm-hmm. And that has been the historical record. We could look at that. We can see that.
So is that 10% kind of like the remnant?
Yeah, I think you could say something like that. And God has been faithful in all generations to have his people there. And sometimes the number varies, right? So Elijah had some, and God said, hey, look, I've got them. I've got, 7,000. And with Midian, he said, you have too many. You have Gideon, you have too many for me to deliver you from Midian. So he whittled them down to 300. God is in control of these things. But the calling on you, Perry, and myself, and everyone who's listening, is that God is calling us today to stoke that flame, to have zeal for him. He is calling us to water the seeds of faith by the preaching of the word of his Son, right? Faith comes by hearing, and hearing by the message of Jesus. We have to get all that static out of the way and cultivate that faith in our lives. That's the call. And, I'm not going to say any limit on what God can do.
This is beautiful. All right, let me take a quick break. Let me say to our viewers and listeners, check out Arizona Christian University, one of the top universities in the country, and certainly check out the Department of Cultural Research Center, culturalresearchcenter.org. There's the picture of that landing page as well. And, of course, I've been with our friend Dr. George Barna as well, very much taking this research, and then, of course, Dr. Rasmussen helping us to understand it. We'll quick break. We'll be right back.
You feel most alive where you feel most at home. And this is living. Bobcat, the company that changed the way the world works, is coming home with a quality compact tractor built to match your quality of life. This isn't work you have to do. It's work you get to do. So get it done in a tractor that's all you. See your dealer or visit bobcat.com.
They travel across America to give an answer for questions, doubts, and challenges concerning faith.
The Gospels are historically reliable.
Their mission, present truth, faith, and help people find purpose.
Not based on blind faith.
Join them as they strive to make a lasting impact on lives and hearts for Christ.
They're either all wrong or one of them's right. I got to go to the Gospels of Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John.
Don't miss Give Me an Answer, weekdays at 3 on the Dove TV.
Welcome back, and always an honor to have with us Dr. Adam Rasmussen. He's a fellow there at the Cultural Research Center and associate professor of humanities at Arizona Christian University. It's one of the great Christian universities in the country. They do have a great website, culturalresearchcenter.org, and there's a picture of that landing page. We're talking about the decline of biblical worldview, kind of interesting topic, very heavy topic. Dr. Rasmussen, your research shows that about 85% of Americans fall into a category that you're calling world citizens. What is that?
Well, a world citizen is someone that may have some cultural Christianity, okay? 62% of Americans would say that they're Christian in some form. And so they're familiar with some of the words. They may talk about God or sin or things like that. But as it comes to what they really believe about the origin of the universe, about the purpose of man, they are not tracking with what the Bible says. They're not holding on to Christian ideas or principles. So they're world citizens. They're more following the spirit of the age.
Religious persecution. In this culture, we have seen a new level of it. And it's on all religions, but it seems to be more so centered against Christian and maybe Judaism. Is that a factor in the biblical worldview?
I think it is. And I just watched an interesting documentary called Truth Rising from the Colson Center, and John Stone Street actually came to our school to present it. It was phenomenal, and to see Oz Guinness as the narrator of this production. And you can see 5 different individuals on that video. You can see it. It's free on YouTube. In Truth Rising, you can see that there still is this anti-Christian bias from a lot of people. And you could say certain things in the public market of ideas, but you can't say others. And so when people go along with that and you get this soft persecution and this damping of religious freedom, you have to be very careful because we've seen in history how it can progress. And of course, I'm talking about religious freedom for all people, not just for Christians. And so wonderful organizations like Alliance Defending Freedom will combat that and really move forward on this idea of our First Amendment right, right to free speech and to religious thought.
I want to ask this carefully, but it seems to me that one of the tools to split the church and move it away from a true biblical worldview is the LGBTQ movement, which has pretty much divided every major denomination in this country over the last several years. And I guess it leaves us scratching our head as to how a church could go off and totally embrace this. What's your take on that?
I think we have to come back to what God says about love. And love is a very good word, but sometimes it can be co-opted, right? And so it becomes only a feeling. And so, yes, people have feelings of all sorts. That doesn't necessarily mean that it's biblical love. Biblical love is sacrificial. Biblical love always keeps the Creator and His holiness in mind. So any ideology that wants to talk about loving other human beings but eliminates a love for God has missed it. Because what Jesus said was that the first commandment is to love God, the Creator, and to not idolize Him. There is one God, and to love Him, to experience His love. And the second command is like it, to love our neighbor as ourselves. So we have to be very careful when we use religious language and we change what God has told us about Himself, what He requires of us, marriage, sex, babies. We could talk all over the place about the sexual ethic and the home. And we don't honor the marriage bed the way we should in America, Hebrews 13. And so, we don't have to pick on any particular ideology to see that. We all have to come back to loving God and loving one another the way He tells us to. And when we stray from that, that's just wrong.
You said that the 4% of the biblical worldview that remains seems to have plateaued. And I'm wondering if part of this is two factors. One is that the anxiety in the culture has left people wanting, because it looks like the culture and just about everything in it has lied to them. And number two, is it possible that the plateau of the 4% is a result of Charlie Kirk and the movement and the person that he was for standing up for his faith? Is there a combination of this here?
Yeah, I don't know if it's plateaued, brother. I mean, it could go down even worse. Okay. So I hope we've hit what you would call the nadir and we can move back up. But just a few years ago, we saw it drop by 33% in just a few months through COVID.
Wow.
But we've maintained, and you can go to our website to see this, but the Charlie Kirk effect, which did affect especially young people and this nation for a few months, really hasn't moved the needle as it comes to biblical worldview. This is our first report of the Cultural Research Center this year. So we're going to have several more out there. But there are some really exciting pockets. Maybe I can talk about a couple of them.
Please.
And I've shared with you before about a group called the Sage Cons. And these are spiritually active, governance engaged conservatives. Okay, not all biblical worldview folks are conservatives, but generally speaking, that is the way it works. And 44% of those Sage Cons have a biblical worldview. So they are 10 times more likely to have a biblical worldview than the rest of the nation. And what we're seeing here is that these individuals are very involved in trying to change culture with the Bible. For example, in the last 2 presidential elections, 99% of them voted, as opposed to around 60% of the rest of the population, including 60% of those who call themselves Christians. So the Sage Cons has a real strong density of people that are committed to being all in for Jesus. That's an exciting spot. Also, I think if I can be so bold as to share some of the research we've done with our students at Arizona Christian University, this is just out. And you can see it on this report. But what we try to do is have whole life discipleship at Arizona Christian University. And I know that there are many places in our country that do that. And so we see that in home educating families, in private K-12 schools and cooperatives, certain church environments, and certain universities. So what we've done is we've partnered with George Barna, and starting 5 years ago, we did this same survey with our students. Now, there are a few changes to it on some things that we're trying to establish on our campus, but basically, every student, it's not a sample, it's a census. Every student, every year, takes this, and we're able to watch how they grow. So we have a 5-year longitudinal study, and my brother, I got to tell you, it's really exciting because young people usually go to university so that their worldview will die.
Yeah.
But at Arizona Christian University, it's exploding. So what we've seen is in this 5-year study, they've grown 833% in their worldview.
Wow.
And by the time they graduate, they are 28 times more likely than people in their age bracket, 21 to 24, have a biblical worldview.
Gosh.
So things are working here. And I'm assuming that they're working in other places too. They may not be measuring it to the degree we are, and we're here to help. We can help those universities. We can help churches and schools. We have ways to do that now. But isn't that exciting that we can see people growing in their biblical worldview?
Do you think that could result in intentional discipleship? In other words, if we're at 4%, it's also the greatest opportunity the church has ever had to witness. And are we prepared to witness with good theology, and are we intentional in doing that?
I agree. Worldview for what? I mean, for what purpose are we doing worldview? So we can just pat our backs, ourselves on the back and say, hey, good job, they know more. No, the whole purpose of worldview is discipleship. We maintain that the best way to do that is to teach the Bible in relationship, right? Mm-hmm. So if we want people to be like Jesus, let's live kind of like a la Schaeffer. I did my dissertation on Francis and Edith Schaeffer. Let's live with people and help them to live biblically changed lives. And just like you said, that's exactly what we want to do. We want to take those emergent followers and disciple them up, right? And those people that are world citizens, we want to say, if you want a flourishing life, if you want a full life, it comes from returning to God. And let me show you how to do that. But we got to put down these phones. We've got to put these down. We've got to take time away from work. We have to be intentional about our lives and get back to discipleship.
You're fascinating and you're inspiring. Thank you, friend. I wish I could sit in one of your think tanks. Let me say to our viewers and listeners, check out Dr. Rasmussen's website, culturalresearchcenter.org, and certainly check out Arizona Christian University. Thank you, friend. Let's stay connected. There's much to learn from you, and I value it greatly.
Thank you, Perry. I feel the same way. Thank you.
All right. God bless.
Have a good day.
You too.
When technology slows you down, your business and your life feels it. That's where Rogue Tech Pros comes in. We provide business technology services, managed IT services, and custom phone systems for businesses and homes. Our award-winning team takes time to understand your unique needs and builds a customized plan to keep your systems running smoothly so you can focus on growing your business while we handle the IT headaches. Find us at RogueTechPros.com. RogueTechPros.com. We keep IT simple.
Come fall in love with Northridge Senior Living. where contemporary, sunlit interiors meet old-world elegance. Walk through our lovely hallways and enjoy the fun staff-led activities. Forge lasting friendships with other residents and our exceptional caregivers. Dine in style. Gather near the fireplace under breathtaking chandeliers. Our reasonably priced apartments are spacious with private balconies. Northridge is Christian-owned and operated, pet-friendly, and only 2 blocks from Asante Rogue Regional Medical Center. On-site, in-home care is available. We also offer senior adult daycare, where your loved one can spend the day with us and the evenings with you. Northridge Senior Living. Your home.
The Dove is shining with a brand new show, Season to Shine.
I'm Melinda Robertson, host of Season to Shine, a new heartfelt, inspiring program for women designed to bring encouragement, wisdom, and hope into your everyday life. We'll help you discover God's purpose in every season, empowering you to shine with confidence, faith, and joy. It's your season to shine. Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays at 4 p.m. on the Dove TV. More at thedove.us.
All right, welcome back. And again, perfect timing to have with us a gentleman that I have high regard for, John O'Connor. He's a former federal prosecutor, experienced trial lawyer, author of the book called Postgate, How the Washington Post Betrayed Deep Throat and Covered Up Watergate and Began What We Call Today's Partisan Advocacy Journalism. No question about that. He served as an assistant U.S. attorney in Northern California, representing the United States both in criminal and civil cases. There's a picture of the book on the screen. You can go to postgatebook.com and also pick up the sequel, which is The Mysteries of Watergate. Why? Because both these books today are very relevant, especially as it relates to journalism. Check it out. Brother John, good to see you, friend. How are you doing?
Good to be with you, Perry.
A lot to talk about, little time.
Yeah, a few things have been going on.
Oh, yeah, a few. Unfortunately, in Michigan and over in Virginia with the synagogue and the university, do you think this is sleeper cell activity?
Yes. Or just simply, it almost makes no difference, simply sympathizers. Because we've let in people that are committed to other ways of life and other ways of thinking. And we had no opportunity to vet these people. And so you're going to find some people like this, whether you call them sleeper cells or just sympathetic people who believe that violence against the evil Satan is okay. So to me, it doesn't make much difference. But it really serves to say and to confirm that what we're doing is absolutely the right thing. We have to do this now, what we're doing in Iran. Things were not going to get better. And if there is going to be some of this, let's smoke it out now, and let's start being adults and dealing with our problems.
So, what do you think about the attack on Iran? What's your take?
I'm not given to hyperbole, Perry, but this may be the greatest thing since sliced bread. In the history of, I don't think there's any action that has been taken by a United States president in the history of our country that is more consequential and took more political courage than this strike. It would be the easiest thing in the world, given the vagaries of public opinion, and every political philosopher will talk about how silly public opinion is, but yet we're in a democratic republic. It's very easy, as we have for 47 years, to kick this can down the road. But we have to be adults and see that we were going to be faced with nuclear annihilation. At least parts of the world were going to be faced with that. So we were going to be faced either with helping people that are going to be annihilated, or sitting back and watching them get annihilated, and the whole world in flames. And if we think the oil disruptions are bad now, they're nothing compared to what would have happened. So it takes a lot of guts to incur the costs now for decades and decades of future benefits. Politicians just don't do that. And we see what happens. We see the way Barack Obama approached this. Let's kick the can down the road for 10 years. Sure, they'll have a weapon after 10 years, but golly, maybe because we're such cool people, they will start thinking like us and be more liberalized, and maybe they won't kill gays and subject women to domination. But that's obviously stupid. It's obviously stupid what Joe Biden did in allowing them to increase their oil deliveries, which enriched them and supported Hezbollah and Hamas. So this has been terribly stupid, counterproductive activity by our past presidents, and Trump has done this. He's bearing the cost now, and there's nothing but naysaying in the mainstream press. And he's got to endure that. And that's the way it is. But I'll say this: he may get killed in the midterms here, but hey, that's the price he's got to pay. That's the way the system's set up. Public opinion is very flighty, and one cares about what's happening to them now, and people are not really into the broad perspective. But this is one of the most significant things that's ever happened.
Do you mentioned a little bit there, John, do you think that this really exposed what President Obama did in supporting the regime and what President Biden did by doing nothing to the regime?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, and it just shows you how shallow our media is. This is, of course, you and I have talked about this before, about my opinion of our major media. But when all this is happening, it doesn't take a genius when Obama did this to say, what are you doing? You're just have agreed to nuclear annihilation, to having the whole world blackmailed by these people. And you just did this? And yet nobody brings that up. What? I mean, I watch the Sunday shows. I watch these things. People don't bring it up. I mean, you'll find some people talking about it a little bit on Fox, but even that, probably not as emphatically as they should have. So yeah, and same with Biden. I mean, what do you say about this? We watch Hamas slaughter these nice Jewish people and rape women and kill babies. And we think and we have financed that, and nobody says anything about it. What kind of moral people are we? This is a question of morality and common sense as well. Those two things sort of conjoining here. And so it's any sensible person right now, what the New York Times should be talking about is not how Trump misjudged whether there's going to be a drone attack or a ship's going to be hit in Hormuz, but they should be talking about the bold action that Trump took to finally take care of this problem. And even if the regime that succeeds this one, or what is left of this regime, is not particularly liberal or cool or nice, we have degraded them. And if nothing else, we've degraded an evil empire here. So, but I am stunned, Perry. I mean, you've got a lot of common sense. You just asked that question. It seems obvious to you. It seems obvious to me. I don't understand why it wouldn't be obvious to these people that are instructing us as to what to believe, called the media.
There's another part of this action that's really remarkable, John, and that is the joining of the two most powerful militaries in the world. You got Israel and you got the United States. When this attack was launched, it was obvious instantly that they had been planning this for a long, long time. You don't get into something at this level, this degree, this sophisticated without a lot of planning. And yet at the end of the day, it seems that the American agenda is a little bit more of getting rid of all of the nukes and the regime, maybe, but on the Israeli side, it was like, we got to get rid of the regime because of its proxies. Or am I misreading that?
No, you're not. But I would hope that American policy would be also that you're getting rid of proxies when you're getting rid of Iran.
Yeah.
I think both things are true. I agree. I mean, it may well be that the proxies are more proximate to Israel these days and so forth. And so the United States, we here are not as bothered by the fact you and I are not going to get missiles shot into our homes as would be the case in Israel. But I think they're one and the same here.
The oil is temporarily going up, obviously, and the strait seems to be the problem. Do you think that gets worked out?
Oh, yeah. I mean, we're going to be seriously degrading them this week. I mean, we're really talking about weeks in terms of Hormuz. I don't think they're going to be able to do anything over the long run in Hormuz. I mean, we're going to keep bombing and bombing and bombing and degrading and degrading and degrading. So this is a temporary blip, and so it's a very good thing. I'm not worried about it. And interestingly, the New York Times, and anybody who's a pro-climate warrior, wants the price of oil to be high. They want it to be high so that we Earthlings don't use enough of it in our gas guzzlers and so forth and so on. So they should be happy that the price is high. But now with the price momentarily high, and it's not really that terrible. If it climbs to be 90, we can handle that. We've handled $100 oil in the past. It's not a big deal. But people are wringing their hands as if this is the worst thing that's ever happened. It's not. What has happened is tremendously beneficial to the world, and we are paying very, very small prices for it right now. And the fact that, we can't bear this slight disruption, and watching TV and not having everything perfect is absurd. We're obliterating Iran. Yeah. I mean, it's one of the most successful campaigns in the history of warfare, and we are getting one of the most evil. I guess evilest is not a word. Most evil empires in the history of civilization. These folks are much worse. I don't recall Adolf Hitler being this bad. He didn't just go out and do some of the things these guys are doing. As bad as he was, and as much as Auschwitz was terrible. I mean, these guys are just as bad as Hitler, if not worse.
Do you think, to your point about midterm, do you think the average American sees what we're talking about, or are they over-influenced by the media that wants Trump to fail?
Well, I'm afraid, on balance, they're influenced by the media. That's the nature of public opinion. Mm-hmm. That's what our founding fathers talked about when we were talking about the Constitution. That's what Aristotle talks about. It's what Montesquieu talks about. You don't want to have popular opinion influence too much the immediate actions of your government. And yet we're in a situation here where public opinion is very, very lethal, I would say, if I use that word. It's going to be lethal to our system. I mean, we're going to get Democrats who are going to control the House come the midterms. I don't think there's much doubt about it. And people are not going to appreciate, and the media is not going to appreciate, the momentous program that Trump is carrying out here. I mean, he should be praised for it if they don't praise Trump for anything else. And I know he's a blustery guy with an unattractive personality and so forth and so on. But you have to look at what he's done here. It's just Olympian.
Okay. Let me take a quick break, Check out John's book, postgatebook.com. There's a picture of the book itself and the landing page. And it pretty much underscores what we're dealing with in today's media and certainly advocacy journalism. Check it out. We'll take a quick break. We'll be right back.
The Pregnancy Center in Medford is a place of hope, providing free pregnancy testing, ultrasounds, options counseling, and support to help women make informed, empowered choices. The Pregnancy Center is growing, hiring registered nurses to join our compassionate team. Work in a supportive environment where you can truly make a difference. No ultrasound experience? No problem. We'll train you in limited ultrasonography, a valuable new skill set for your career. To learn more, visit thepregnancycenter.us. Thepregnancycenter.us.
The 71.5 Golf Challenge arrives Saturday, May 16th with a 4-person scramble, morning and afternoon shotguns, and a 6:30 award social. Register your team by April 1st for an early bird special. Score the team player pack for just $20 instead of $100 with the code EARLYBIRDIE. Become a sponsor and help kids across Southern Oregon. Visit 715.org or call 541-779-3275. At the 71.5 Golf Challenge, your drive saves lives.
Panoramic Moto Tours was born really out of my passion just to ride Grace back roads and the scenic highways in our beautiful Northwest. God put it on my heart to share the experiences and invite others. More than riding beautiful roads, it's the camaraderie and fellowship. It's hearing each other's stories. It's being mutually encouraged on our journeys of life.
Riders can book one of our ready-to-ride guided tours offering the best of Oregon or Northern California. Or book a private custom tour tailored just for your group to destinations like Glacier or Yellowstone. For more information, go to
panoramicmototours.com or call me, Nick, at 541-622-3844. When you find something you love, you just want to share it.
panoramicmototours.com. Your next adventure starts here.
All right, welcome back. John O'Connor's back with us today, former federal prosecutor, and just so appreciate his time. Postgatebook.com is his website where you can check out the books, and very relative today, The Mystery of Watergate, and then Postgate, all dealing with today's journalism. John, we're trying to figure out how to ask this question because you mentioned it in one of your answers earlier, that we have lost our moral mooring and common sense. And it was greatly illustrated during the State of the Union address when the president stand, if you believe that the #1 goal of America officials is to protect our citizens, not illegals. And there they sat. How in the world did we go from common sense and moral shift to just cult-like dedication to an ideology that's crazy?
Well, I hate to say it, but it starts, well, there are two places it starts. Number one is there's the decline of religious belief. And that's sort of accompanied by sort of in its place is sort of a progressive ideology, that is to say, millenarian thinking. We're trying to create heaven on earth. It's just a great error. Mm-hmm. We can't do that. And so we have our universities are stocked with people that come from my baby boom generation. And I was around when this has happened, when we get rid of God, we get rid of higher principles. Forget about, you don't have to be religious, you just have to believe in higher principles and so forth. But we've lost that because we are now seeking heaven on earth. It's millenarian thinking. It's one of the worst things that can happen. And this was tried in the French Revolution. It's tried in the Communist Revolution in Russia. It does not work. People get killed, heads rolled, people starve, people are shot. You've got the Cultural Revolution in China, and nobody learns. Nobody understands that. And we still have people getting more and more into this progressive sort of ideology. It's really a type of Marxism. It's all of the same ilk, whether you're doctrinally Marxist or not. It doesn't make any difference. And we forgot the basis of common sense and solidity that on which this country was founded. You read the you read the papers that were put forth, for the Constitution, and you see the thinking of our founding fathers. America was founded in a revolution, but it was a revolution based upon morals, upon conservatism, and upon belief in God.
Yeah.
And you don't need to enshrine God as part of your politics. We have something of a separation of church and state. I think that's somewhat overdone.
Yeah.
But in any case, we've lost it, Perry, is what I'm really trying to say.
Sadly so. Let me shift you over to whatever happened to the teeth in the decision on the president from the Supreme Court relative to tariffs.
Well, we're going to have to start paying back some money, I think, and so there's going to be a lot of action in the trade courts and so forth and so on. But also, I think we're probably cutting deals with a lot of countries. The real question is a tariff illegal if we impose it, but then a country then agrees to it? I don't know, but it's a mess. And I always thought that the Supreme Court, you and I talked about this before, that they would undo the tariffs. But after I read Justice Thomas's dissent, I realized that these tariffs were actually fine. I'm sort of surprised myself. I didn't realize the legal underpinnings for these tariffs, and I think Judge Thomas is right on them. They should have been upheld.
Okay, but he's moving on as if that decision never occurred.
Well, that's what's good about Trump is he doesn't suffer from doubt or lack of self-belief, does he? So this is a guy, I could say if I was indicted 4 times and impeached a couple times, I don't think I could run for president.
Amazing. A couple other geopolitical things. Do you think we will inherit, one way or the other, Cuba?
Yes, I think we will. I think that's a dead state. Something's going to have to happen, and I think that would be an easy role for us to fill, that of sort of a protectorate. I think we would keep it as a separate country, but I think they would probably at some point are going to need our help. And I hope it ends up that way. That's the best result. This is a dying country. There are a lot of nice people there that are just have been starved and deprived.
I want to come back to California politics a little bit, John, right there in your hometown, so to speak. By the way, I was born and raised in Sacramento, but I'm recovering.
Oh, there you are.
I'm recovering. I was a news guy during the Reagan administration, right across the street from the Capitol, so I know that town very well. Anyway, the point being is this: I don't think the average person understands how the primary season is done in California. Sometime in June, the top 2 candidates will end up running off in November. I think you have 13 Democrats and you have like 2 significant Republicans, and Steve Hilton seems to be getting all the money. What's your view of what's going on in your backyard?
Well, I hope the Democrats keep up their ways. Hilton might actually win. Normally a primary in California is just a race between the top Democrats. Our whole state is a one-party state, and the only way that could be screwed up is if there are 11 candidates for governor or whatever, and for office, and we have it now. So that's wonderful, and for Senate and so forth and so on. So look, Perry, I don't think this state is. We're going to go completely Democratic, and what's happening here is that the billionaires are now leaving the state. We have an initiative on that may win where we're going to tax wealth. we've made things inhospitable as it is with a 13.3 tax rate, just local. So you're a fool if you want to be a billionaire, you want to make a lot of money, you're a fool to be a resident here. People who love California have moved out.
Yeah.
Charles Schwab did his best to hang on to California. He loves living here, and I know his wife a little bit. But they finally had to get out of here. They moved most of their operations to other states, and now finally their headquarters is moved. And you're going to find that all over the place. And now what we're going to do is we're going to see that Texas, Nevada to some extent, other places will end up being the new Silicon Valleys. We'll have Silicon Valleys around the country, but it's just too bad.
Yeah.
This is a great state, and we're ruining it as we speak.
Yeah, it's a beautiful state. Is it true that none of the Dems got the endorsement of its own party?
Who didn't, you say?
The Democrat candidates for governor didn't even get the endorsement of their own party.
That's right. That's right. Oh no, you can't make this up. This is so dysfunctional, Perry. That's the only hope for Republicans is these Democrats are so dysfunctional that a Republican might actually win. Steve Hilton might actually win here, but it's what you and I talked about. You know, this is pretty much of a God. I don't want to say godless state, but it's a progressive state, and which is probably worse than being godless.
Do you think?
Because we have our gods and they're false gods.
Yeah. Do you think that this ever gets hung on the beak of Governor Newsom if he runs for president?
It should. And I noticed the polls are not too kind to Newsom lately. I thought he was I'll say this, he has tremendous political gifts.
Yeah.
The guy can can sell ice to an Eskimo, but he's starting to wear thin on parts of the country. I mean, I think he's got tremendous gifts. I think, but Kamala, strangely enough, is polling better than Newsom is right now, and I find that really, really bad. I mean, Newsom at least has a mind. He has a mind, and he can string a sentence together.
Oh, I needed that, John. I needed that. That's good stuff. You know, you need to come to Oregon. Let us take you fishing, air you out a little California dust, and then I'll send you back. How's that?
You know, Perry, I play the basketball team. I play on a basketball team that's based in Oregon.
Really?
And we play all over the world. So yeah, I'm an Oregon guy. I play for the Left Bank Saloon out of Portland, Oregon, which bought our jerseys for us when we're all 40 years old, and we still play. We don't go to I don't even know if the saloon exists anymore, but yeah, we're Oregon guys.
Yeah, you're playing AI basketball in your mind.
Well, let's put it this way: if you took a film of our games, and we play in these age tournaments, you need to speed up the film.
Okay. Thank you, John. Always value your time. Postgatebook.com is the place to connect with John. Look forward to many visits, friend. God bless you, pal. Have a great day.
Talk to you, Perry. Take care.
Okay.
Since 1934, Grange Co-op has been more than just a store. We've been a cornerstone of our community, owned by people like you. We proudly offer top-quality farm and ranch supplies, including our own Rogue feed, as well as workwear, Western apparel, garden essentials, and pet care products. By signing up as a Grange Rewards customer, you not only enjoy exclusive benefits like special offers and 1% back on most purchases, but you also become part of something